Hello, hello. Hey, so we're here at Pray to Play, just getting things rocking and rolling here. Getting some stuff shared out to different places. So we'll see what we can do. Alrighty, alrighty. Ah, cool. Alright, that actually worked. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Hmm. Hello, Miss Andrea. Good morning, good morning. It's good to see
No.
you. Oh, I hear person. That would be the Beacons. Alrighty, he has arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. How are you doing today, bud?
A bit tired, but
Okay. Well, you ready to rock and roll on the shaman thingy?
sure. Although I won't be playing as long today. Um,
Okay.
Me and Andrea are gonna go get up early tomorrow morning, go vote before work.
Ah, okay. Alrighty then. Sounds like a plan. Good morning. I can see you.
Mm.
Yeah, Andrew, I can see you. Um, let's see here. Something I need to do to change things a little bit here. Um, Hello, hello, hello. I want to change the way some of this is being viewed. To do that though, like landscape mode doesn't like have my picture up like at all. So I think what I have to do is I have to how do I do this here? I have to like move things around a little bit. Right, see if it'll let me. No, it's not gonna let me do it like that. Um, hmm. So do it like this, and then put the camera. Yes, I can. I can see you in YouTube. Like I can see that you're there. I don't know like what you mean by you can't see me. I can see you. Hmm. I'm wondering here. So there's a couple different things I can do here to kind of you know what? Let's just do that. We're just going to keep this the way it is here. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So let's just hit the button fill screen. There we go. That's better. Just keep that the way it is. So then there's the portrait view, which is how a lot of people watch it anyways, is on TikTok. But I'm realizing YouTube doesn't have a actual like camera of me at the moment, so I need to do something about that. Which means I have to change a couple of things here. So many fun things to do. Right, because there's this camera, which I'm going to delete it. All right, that's deleted. So just using this one here. I can do a virtual camera, I think, through OBS if I wanted to, which would basically just mirror what I've got going on here on TikTok. Um, or I could just use a separate camera altogether. So give me a second here. It's like trying to think like where would I put it? Ah, yeah, put it up there. I think would be a good place to stick it. Let's see here. Properties. Yes. Okay. Yep, that would be the webcam. Let's activate it. Oh, Wow, we got some resolution, custom. Is it gonna let me do that? It's not. It's gonna do the 720 pay. That's okay. That's okay. And then, come on now. Let's unlock that. Let's put that up there. And kind of just eat it like that. I think, folks, we got some lift off. Lock that sucker in place. Okay. What were you expecting me to see? I mean, I guess that's kind of the question. Like, what are you expecting? Like, I'm. Guys, I am not omniscient or omnipresent, okay? I am not Jesus. I am his son. There is a difference. I still have a physical body. Okie dokie. I'm getting. Volume is low on the YouTube. Okay. Well, there are things that I can change in OBS. My microphone, though, is definitely up there. That should not. Let me see. Filters. See what I got. Oh, that would be why. Remove that. Okay. There we go. All right. So that should be a little bit better. I can change some things, like, even more. But I don't think I really need to. So I'm just going to suggest that you just, like, turn your volume up a little bit. I think that'd be helpful. So, hey, Mr. Person. Jordan, hello. Hi. You're muted. Why are you muted? Okay, guys. So, hey,
Yeah.
this is hi. Hi. So we are here on PrayToPlay today. We're gonna first off, we're gonna be working with my buddy here, to kind of work out some of the kinks on shaman healing. All right. So basically, it's gonna be him and I learning the class and kind of putting the picture together and seeing what we can do, and then we're gonna dive into a delve and then right into a mythic. Okay, and bash our head against that spider again until it's patai. Yes. Better. Volume is as high. Okay, well that's cool. That's cool. As long as you can hear me, Miss Andrea, like I think we are getting somewhere. So I'm gonna make sure I've got the ticky of the talk chat up here. I thank you, peoples. So glad to see yous. Yeah, I think this works. I think this works well. Hopefully. All right, so that's good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are yeah. Oh, achievement earned. WoW's 20th anniversary. Oh, I feel old.
How'd you get that one?
I don't know.
I just saw that you.
I just logged in.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay.
I just logged in and got it.
Yeah, just logged in,
I got it,
sir.
didn't see it.
All right, I've got mail, which is from you, Mr. Preston. Okay.
Should just be some gloom chitten, and then maybe some of the oh, what are those dark blue ones called that poison you
Oh,
when you extract them? You mine them
writhing samples.
with writhing samples. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna find an interesting place, and I'm gonna pull up. So I need to look at your spell book, and yeah, need to look at your spell book, and I need to look at talent tree. So I've got this figured out here.
So I didn't get to do too much research. I
I know.
had like an hour of
I'm
time.
aware. I'm aware, buddy.
But from what I watched, one of the things with Totemic is its problems with mana conservation.
Okay.
It is it's very mana intensive
Yep.
healing class. So that was one of the things that I saw evident in all of the videos I was able to watch.
Okay. Like Farseer may be a good way to go. I just don't know much about it at this point.
Well, that's what the last guy I watched was saying. He said Farshar's the best one to take into raids or stuff like that
Okay. I mean,
because of it, because it's better with mana, like use of mana and
well,
whatnot.
and that's the thing. You got to realize, like, shamans are like any mana user in this game. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. I keep fading in and out because I'm not just like plastered right in front of the microphone the entire time. So I need to increase the sensitivity of the microphone slightly and just remember to be speaking into it. So I just turned it up. Hopefully it doesn't blast your guys' ears off. No, basically, guys, any mana class, okay, think of it like a marathon. All right. So you've got your trash mobs. Okay, you're going to be using AoE abilities, area of effect abilities, to burn down your mobs, your enemies. Okay. In a boss situation, okay, you have to manage the amount of mana that you are consuming over a period of time versus the spells that you are using, in order to keep your team alive. Okay. That's kind of what we're going to be looking at. So we're going to go to Shaman, which is Restoration here in this case. I'm on Icy Veins currently. If you guys want to watch, we can actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull this up here. Okay, so I'm in Icy Veins currently. All right, there's an update, which better not, I hope it doesn't restart now. No, it's not. Okay. So we're on Icy Veins. So we're going to look at Restoration Shamans here. All right, this is what we're doing to kind of work with our friendly neighborhood Shami healer, Mr. Bickham's. That's not really about leveling. This is not exactly helpful. So builds and talents, all right, is usually where we would start. And part of it, like, you got to realize, guys, the best spec is going to be what works best for you. Okay, so there's a lot of things that you could play with. There's some things that are better for this situation versus that situation. There's a lot of utility in like this class. An enormous amount of utility. But remember this, okay? Each thing's going to work a little bit different depending on your play style, okay? And that's going to be determined on, a lot of it's going to be experience, situational awareness. How well do you multitask, okay? Healers, that is a very large multi like task class, okay? Or I would say role. That's a better way of wording it. So with that, you have to grow in your situational awareness. You have to be able to dodge, enemy mechanics, boss mechanics, while maintaining a hold on the overall health of your group. And the larger the encounter, okay, 10 man, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way down to your 5 mans, or even your 2 to 3 mans in delves, you have to be able to see what's going to be coming in. All right, so that's keeping track of spells and abilities, okay, from the enemy, as well as what are your spells and abilities, what do your cooldowns look like, how long is it going to take to actually cast something, and intuitively calculate those things. Because if you're trying to do all of that consciously, you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to likely fall into a panic because you're trying to track too much. Okay, so the key to this is focus. What are you focusing on? Because if you try to focus on everything all at once from a conscious perspective, you are going to go crazy. Okay, just from personal experience, trying to do that in my day-to-day life before coming to Christ. So there's this wonderful saying, where focus goes, energy flows. Well, we see something very similar in Matthew chapter 6, all right, where the treasure of your heart is, there your desires will be also. Okay, so if you are dealing with an enormous amount of fear, it says that there's something that you are either believing or a thought that is being produced that is causing that fear to be produced. Okay, so let's backtrack just a second and look at the WoW Shaman class healer. Okay, how does focus and where your treasure is help you in this situation? Well, if you're focused on, okay, like if I don't do this, if I mess up, if you start that whole what if monster and you start building that, then you're going to be jumping all over the place. You're going to miss something, all right? Because I'm going to go with an old Dune saying here, fear is the mind killer, okay? It stops your ability to think at a higher level. So if you want to be able to do anything in a game such as this at a high level, you have to be able to stay calm and process your emotions in the moment. If you're not doing that, if you're not focusing on Christ, all right, you are not going to experience that peace. This is one of the ways in which I teach people how to process complex emotions in the moment is video games. All right. So we're going to look at, in this case, because he has been struggling with mana conservation, okay, which is something that comes with experience. Like that, as you understand the boss fights, as you understand the different phases and what's going to come in and what's going to go out, your Totemic Mythic Plus build is great because that's where we're at. We're looking at Mythic Plus, okay? But in this case, he doesn't have that high level of experience to be able to predict those things and to be able to be as proactive as he would like. That will come with experience. So we're going to start with something that's a little bit easier in terms of mana conservation, and there's not as many possible utilities. So we're going to go with a Farseer build for Mythic Plus, okay? That's what we're going to look at right now. All right, so this is a chain heal. Basically what you're doing is you are blasting out tons and tons of chain heals. That's what you're doing. it's a, you throw out your different, totems. You use, we can read it right here. So the idea behind these talents is to give you high baseline healing and utility, including many DPS talents such as Acid Rain and the reworked Master of Elements, which allows you to seamlessly alternate between healing and DPS with Healing Surge and Lava Burst, while skipping on casting Flame Shock altogether. Unleash Life allows for permanent uptime of one ancestor. So that's an individual, that's a character in this that is going to be able to help him do what he already does, okay? Which is more reliable than having to cycle through Undulation, and having the full chain heal package allows for an easy area healing, which is super helpful, even in spread out situation where Totemic struggles, okay? The big thing with Totemic is you have to be very aware of where you're placing your totems and how many meters in game that totem is from the players in which you want to heal. Because if they're too far away, your chain heal is not going to bounce off, and you're not going to get that extra chain heal to your ranged DPS or melee DPS, whichever you started from. Ooh, breathe for a second. Goodness gracious. So with this, you have a bit more play when it comes to range, okay? One of the things we were noticing last night with Jordan is the places where he was placing his totems was not always optimal, okay? And that's a lot to keep track of. I'll be completely honest with you. That's a lot of information to process when you haven't done it before, all right? So both Bickums, all right, and Mr. Preston here, Truve, both of them are new to World of Warcraft. Now, they're not new to video games, all right? We have been, adventuring in different video games for, I would say, over a year now. And, honestly, yeah, we're going on, like a year and a half, guys? Something like that, where we've been kind of playing together pretty religiously?
A year and a month.
Year and a month, okay. Right, I was including Preston in that, not just you, Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just you and me. We did Destiny for a solid 4.5, 5 months. We did Fortnite for a year. Took about a year off. Played for another year with Jordan.
Yeah. So
and did Destiny for another 3 months.
Yeah. So you and I, it's been.
And there was Overwatch for a time.
Yeah.
That only lasted a little bit though.
Yeah. It just like finding people to play with.
That's
in
a tough
that
one. If you can't find a team to coordinate with,
it doesn't go very far. That is a MOBA that is incredibly oriented. Held up. Yeah, we did that. And it was incredibly enjoyable until it wasn't. They weren't updating things. Rawr. That's another topic of conversation. So what we're going to do now, all right, now that we have kind of a basic overview of what we're looking at here, we're going to go through talents. Okay, so when you are ready, Mr. Bickums, let's go ahead and let's go through the talent tree for both the main shaman talent tree, then we'll go through restoration and hero talents, okay? Now, a key element, guys, all right, when you are looking at anything that you're doing, this principle applies in every aspect of life, okay? Context is key, all right? When you are studying scripture, when you're listening to somebody talk, no matter what you're doing, context is an incredibly important aspect of communication. All right. Now, what do I mean with that in terms of playing a video game like this? Well, every single talent, all right, that you see in this game somehow works together with other talents. So if you are not putting the puzzle pieces together, you're not going to see the greater picture of how they work together. So what I'm saying is read the whole thing. Understand what connects with the other. And it's the same thing when you are reading scripture. Okay, guys? Reading context. Read the chapter before, read the chapter after. Understand who is being spoken to, what's the cultural context, why the conversation is even happening. And then you are much more able to go, okay, God, Lord Jesus, what does this actually mean? And then allow him to interpret it for you instead of you trying to make assumptions based on your natural mind. Okay? The same thing applies here. All right, so we're going to read through this, we're going to look at this stuff, and we're going to put the puzzle together, and then we're going to go, okay, Jesus, does this work? Is there anything you want to share with us? And what's really cool is when you invite the Holy Spirit into anything that you're doing. I don't care if it's a video game. I don't care if you're mowing the lawn. I don't care if you're cleaning a bathroom. Invite him into it, and you will learn something, and you will grow not just mentally, emotionally, but spiritually. Okay? Invite him in. Make your life that living sacrifice, okay? Like, there's a point to all of this. I know we're talking about a shaman talent tree in a video game, and it sounds super mystic and yada, yada, yada. I understand that. Okay, guys, I'm not sit here and I'm not blind to it. All right, I'm not saying go out and do anything in real life. This is a video game. Now, if you can't separate the fact that this is a video game from reality, then I do not suggest you continue watching our channel, okay? And I suggest that you get professional help. If you can't separate the two, all right, and understand the reality of what we're talking about here, move on and go somewhere else. All right? Okay, moving on. So, Shaman Talent Tree. Biggums, we good to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Astral Shift, Lava Burst, Chain Heal, and Chain Lightning are two really big ones here right off the bat. Now, do you have this pulled up on Icy Veins on your own screen?
I don't. Let me get my phone.
Yeah, that would be, I think, a good idea. Now, I can walk you through it step by step, but you being able to see it and read it is really important. Okay? Like, you need to understand how it fits together. Like, now, mind you, this goes back to different learning styles. Some people are more visual, some people are more auditory, but what I found is everybody learns a little bit in different ways, all right? There's some areas people are way better at it than others. Like, for instance, my wife is highly kinesthetic, okay? She sees and then does, and she gets it, okay? So if I can have some kind of physical thing happening, like while I'm teaching her something, she gets it much better. Like going on a walk and talking to her about like spiritual principles. All right. She's far more able to process and deal with the situation and actually incorporate it than if I'm just like, oh, you have to sit still. Rah. Like, it doesn't work as well for her. Okay. And everybody's different. Like, I think that's the beauty of humanity. One of many beautiful things. So, go ahead.
Okay, so Restoration Shaman.
Yep,
Builds
Mythic
talent,
Plus.
and then
Yep, so you're going to, so best talents for Restoration Shaman, okay? If you look at what's on the screen right now, if you're looking at YouTube or TikTok, so it's the Farseer Mythic Plus.
I'm looking at, I'm in my own Icy Veins. I thought that's what you wanted me to do.
Yeah, that is what I asked you to do. But you can also have multiple tabs open on your cell phone. Like you can.
Okay, so I'm here at the table of contents of this page.
Okay.
That's where I am currently.
Okay, so builds and talents is what you're going to want to click on after you have gone to like Restoration Shaman. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So builds and
Did that.
talents. All right. Then you're going to want to scroll down to best talents for Restoration Shaman. That's where you're going to want to go next.
Okay.
So it's going to be Farseer Mythic Plus.
All right.
All right, and go ahead and clicky on that one. All right, that'll give you an overview, all right, of what the purpose is for the talent build. Okay.
Mm.
Then, now what you can do, now mind you, you don't have to read through all of this, but I suggest that you do. All right. You need to understand your class. All right. You're not going to be able to progress and be able to do multiple classes if you're not able to understand the basics of one. All right. Now, I'm not saying that shamans are the easiest class to learn, but you wanted something more difficult, so you got it.
What?
Huh? What? You're the one that started off with an evoker when I said, that's not a good idea.
Oh.
That's a hero class. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that conversation? Yeah. Hey, Bickums, how you doing, dude?
Good.
Good? All right. Where are your emotions at? You breathing, sir?
Yeah, I'm breathing. I'm just praying, seeing where my emotions are at.
Okay.
The enemy's trying to throw fear
Yep.
that I won't disregard or not admit to be true.
Okay. So let's keep going here. So read through each talent. All right. Like I can read through them with you if you want. But I think what will be really helpful for is as you go through, kind of look at the different things that are there.
So you're saying like while I'm doing the talents for the shaman talent tree, read everyone.
Yep. Read every
Yep.
single one. Yeah, dude. That will
When
help
I'm
you
clicking.
understand how it works. Like, and how these things are meant to fit together. And then I would suggest on your own time, okay? Or in between something, like take time and look at all the talents you didn't choose. Okay? And start looking at, oh, okay, well, yeah, I could see how this would work here, etc. All right? I mean, one of the greatest talents for PvP is Hex. I mean, that's kind of a, yeah, it's basically a shaman polymorph. Turn him into a toad. I mean, seriously, guys, I can hear like a lot of like Christian fundamentalists like screaming, "Oh, he's playing a shaman in a video game. Oh, it's terrible. How dare he promote this darkness?" It's like we've already had that discussion, man. I'm not promoting that at all. We are going into these places and we are loving on people because that's what God has called us to do. I'm literally hearing that in the back of my mind right now. I was like, Jesus, what is all of that? And it just is what it is. So, like, guys, just gonna make a little disclaimer here, folks. Like, this is what we're called to, is to be a light in dark places in video games. These are tools we have at our disposal in the video game. All right, we are in no way like sitting here trying to promote like the use of magic in day-to-day life. Gosh. The fact that I really need to give that disclaimer. Yeah, that is crazy. This life and the world we currently live in right now is so polarized one way or the other. It's like, yeah. We're called to love folks, people. Let's try and do that. Remember what Paul said? All things are acceptable, not all things are beneficial. So let's find out. Go to God, ask the questions, discern through. If you're not listening to his voice, you've got no business saying diddly squat to me. Okay? That's the reality. As the reality is, you don't understand. So let's keep going. Hello. All right, so how are you doing there, buddy?
Good. I'm reading. What does it mean when it says preventing any spell in that school? What does it mean by that school?
Okay, so in World of Warcraft, you have different schools of quote-unquote magic. Okay? So there's nature spells, arcane spells, holy spells, shadow spells, etc. Okay? So in a specific school, like there's like fire, all right? That would be like flame shock. You have, I think nature is considered earth. I'd have to double check. A lot of your healing spells are considered nature elemental. All right, that's the element that usually is applied there, unless you are a priest or a paladin in this game. Those are all considered holy spells. Okay. Um, yeah, that's what it means. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So also for capacitor totem, it says it can stun enemies within 10 yards for 3 seconds. Would that also be bosses, or would that just be ads?
One more time.
Capacitor totem summons a totem a, at the target location that gathers electrical energy from the surrounding air and explodes
Mm-hmm.
after 2 seconds, stunning all enemies within 10 yards for 3 seconds. Would that also stun bosses or no?
Not normally. I don't know a single boss off the top of my head that is stunnable. I think there are some bosses that do have an interrupt mechanic where that may be possible, but you will know ahead of time. So the general rule of thumb is bosses are not able to be stunned. Okay, they can sometimes be interrupted with certain abilities, but no, bosses are not stunnable. Trash mobs are most of the time. So like any sort of interrupt, like explosive trap or like repentance for your paladins, um, like uh, your fear abilities, everything like that, usually work on your basic trash mobs. Okay, now why is that important? Well, any sort of so Andrea's asking a question. I will answer that in just a second, Miss Andrea. So one of the things that is really important, especially in any kind of like trash like situation where you're basically just fighting smaller mobs, is those abilities make it much easier on the tank, okay, and the healer to heal. So using interrupts, using stuns, using different abilities that might slow, etc., is super helpful. It just, yeah, don't figure it's going to work on a boss. Now, this is an important aspect. It may work on ads that the boss summons. Okay. So that's where it can be super useful in a boss fight. So if, like, let's say, for instance, you've got a bunch of tiny little spiders that are chasing after you, that totem may be able to work in order to stun them for a short period of time so that your damage dealers can get over there and take them out. Okay. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the question here from the tube of the Ube is, how do you play these parts and honor God? So again, this goes back to the question that we answered yesterday. It's understanding the difference between righteousness and unrighteousness. Okay, righteousness is defined through the love of Christ. All right. When we are doing the things that we are doing in love, according to his will, when we are humble before God, we honor him. We honor him with our obedience. We honor him with our love. That's how we're able to be obedient. That's what it means. It's, being grateful in all circumstances. It's loving the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, loving your neighbor as yourself, treating others the way that you would like to be treated, loving one another as Jesus Christ has loved us. That's what we're judged on. Okay, that's where either our reward or consequence comes from. Sin is defined as a lack of love in any given situation. Now, there's also verses that we see, like with Paul, where, don't cause a brother to stumble. All right. And I believe that is a very important aspect. That's one of the reasons why, like, if you don't have the ability to separate fact from fiction, I don't suggest that you be here. All right. If you are schizophrenic, schizoaffective, if you have a problem understanding what reality is, okay, and understanding the difference between good and evil, I would suggest that you go somewhere else, okay? Not because I dislike you, not because I don't want to hear from you, but for the simple fact that I don't have any desire for you to stumble into something. If you struggle with any of those things, please, like, go to God, find out what's actually going on inside of you. If you need to talk about it, like, you know what, I can do my best to set aside some time where we can sit down and have that conversation as to why you believe that what I'm doing is wrong. Okay, if that's what you believe, I'm more than happy to hear you out. Okay, but everything I have heard from Jesus, everything that we have prayed through, this is where we've been asked to be. Okay, you know what? There is a lot of people that need help, especially in games. Games are often used as an escape tactic from life. Okay, speaking from my own personal experience, I spent years and years and years in these video games escaping life because I didn't know how to deal with depression. I didn't know how to deal with the anxiety. I didn't know how to deal with the fact that I hated myself. Okay, I didn't know how to deal with it. So I found something, anything, in order to escape that pain. So what we're doing here is we are going into these places, all right, to help people experience that freedom, the freedom that I get to experience now. And it's not me being preachy, all right? I don't sit there in the middle of trade chat, yelling at people that they need to repent or go to hell. I'm not going to do that. That's not what Jesus Christ taught me. That's not what helped me. If God is calling you to that, more power to you. But I don't believe that's what God is calling you to. God is calling you to love the way that Jesus Christ loves. All right? Okay? He is our example, not John the Baptist, not Paul the Apostle, not Peter, not John. Jesus Christ is the standard. All right? I want you to understand that. Every man in the Bible, except for Jesus Christ, is only a pale reflection. Jesus Christ is the standard. He is the one who enables us to love. He is the one who judges us ultimately. Okay? Please understand that. So again, to reiterate and answer the question, how we honor God in this is we love our neighbor as ourselves. We love one another as Jesus Christ has loved us. That's what we're doing in here. Now, mind you, I have been verbally attacked. I've been assaulted. I've been treated terribly. I've had people curse me behind my back. And you know what? I love them anyways. I'm not here for people to like me. Like, that's a plus. That's like a cherry on top of the cake, but it's not the cake. The cake is me being able to love others and show people that there are people out there who genuinely care about others. And the reason I do is because of what Jesus Christ did in my life. He showed up when nobody else did. So, yeah. How do I handle bullies? Okay, so there's a couple different types of bullies that you see in video games. Often they're called trolls. So I found that there's really two ways to deal with trolls. One, either you starve them. In other words, you give them no attention, you give them no time, no effort, or you poison them. The way you do that is by showing them kindness, by giving them a mirror. Okay? What I mean by that is going, hey, would you like me to treat you the way that you're treating me right now? I was like, well, I don't care. Well, obviously you do. Like, you're having this conversation right now. You're attempting to argue with me when I'm simply asking you a question. It's not designed to guilt or shame you. I just really would like to understand your thought process here. So when you speak to them in a reasoned, loving way, often what happens is the troll runs away because they didn't get what they wanted. They wanted to get a rise out of you. They wanted a justification for their behavior. So if they're not able to get you to sin, if they're not able to get you to go grr, then they've lost. Like, when you choose to love, that which is evil fails. Okay? This is the essence of what we learn in Matthew chapter 5. Okay? Bless those who curse you. Love those who hate you. Pray for those who persecute you. We overcome evil with good. Not an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. We are to love our enemies. Okay? That's the reality of that. Like, instead of me doing to them what they have done to me, I choose to seek to understand them and employ compassion and empathy. Where's the balance between sharing about Jesus with others and not saying anything if they sin? The balance is found in you discerning what you need to say. It's humility before God. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, all of your mind, and all of your soul. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all of your ways seek his will, and he will show you the path to take. That's where the balance is found. It's found in Jesus Christ. If you're trying to correct somebody out of your own sense of importance, your own pride and ego, you are doing the wrong thing. Okay? It's fighting fire with fires. Well, I'm right, I'm righteous, I'm holy, you're not. No, buddy, you have been in the same place. I'm not saying you're not righteous. I'm not saying you aren't holy, but I am saying that if you're choosing to laud that over another person, you have stumbled. Okay? Like, I can't take credit for being righteous. I can't. Like, I have sinned. I've come short of the glory of God. Like, my righteousness comes through Jesus Christ. It's attributed to me by the Father because I placed my faith in Jesus Christ. I trust him. And I do the things he asked me to do. Even if I don't understand it, I do the things he's asked me to do. Ooh, excuse me. So, does that, like, does that answer those questions pretty well, guys? Mr. Caden and Miss Andrea? And thank you guys for the questions. I love it. I love it. I love questions. I don't care how difficult it is. I'll do my best to answer. And guess what? If I don't know, then I'll tell you. So, like, seriously, all I'm doing right now is flying around. Which, honestly, I enjoy it. Like, this is, for me, is actually rather, like, therapeutic. Just, you know. Actually, let me go to an area that's a little prettier while Mr. Bickham's is getting everything set up. So how are you doing, sir?
Almost done with the restoration side.
Nice, dude. Hey, and you reading through everything?
Yeah.
Ah, dude, thank you. So how you feeling right now, man?
Gooder.
Gooder? Awesome. Awesome. I'll take that. Take it to the bank, deposit it. We got a little bit get a little something there. Well, being ignored currently by a certain individual, and that's okay. You guys messaged him at all and asked him how he's doing?
I don't know. What
Mr.
she's
Mr.
talking.
Mr. Snow. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh. I don't have his information to send.
Yeah, you do, because
anything.
he's in the guild.
Oh. Then no, I have not.
All right. Would you guys be willing to do that? I think he's still ticked off at me, which is fine. Hello, folks. Thank you for joining us today. Life is always more fun when you find yourself entertaining. Hey, thank you, Hans, for the like. I appreciate that. Dude, so, all right, I gotta ask, man. I see your icon. Like, Jedi or Sith, bro? There's a question for chat. Like, Jedi or Sith, and why? Oh, bro. Okay, all right. Why? Like, why Sith? And Horde on WoW. Okay. Hey, dude, I started off Horde, and I definitely started out Sith, so I do understand where you're coming from, man. Like, I was a rageaholic, so I get it. I mean, I can see the draw. Like, that whole, like, anger empowers me thing. Dude, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's so me, I choose Qui-Gon and Ahsoka, personally. So, I choose Jedi, but the middle path. So, I don't like tons and tons of rules. It's, I'm not a fan of it. I'm more like, okay, is this good? Does this actually give life? Is this something that values the sanctity of life? That's kind of where my like kind of conceptualization goes based on what I've learned. So, yeah. So how you doing today, man? And like what's you don't need to tell me what server you're on, but what class? Life, death, it's all part of nature. Yeah. Yeah. But again, a lot of it depends on what your believings of the afterlife are, et cetera, as well. Uther, and you main a hunter. Okay, cool. What spec? Beast mastery, marksman, or survival? You doing the kind of Drizzt Do'Urden thing, survival, or going the more like, I guess, traditional route? Ooh, I got Beast Mastery. Cool. I got a really cool question here over on YouTube. So, how do you handle it when you have to keep doing a boss over and over again? So this goes back to a question I answered yesterday. What have I learned the most while playing video games? And it would be patience. Like you choose to be grateful in the moment. Like that's a conscious choice. All right. And it's hard sometimes, especially when you've gone against the same boss like 50 times. And I'm thinking right now of the Witness fight in Destiny 2 on Legendary. That's
We witnessed a lot of
we
our
witnessed
turmoil. Yes.
a lot of the Witness. That was, oh my gosh, dude. Legend, and mind you, we didn't beat it on normal first. We dove into Legendary to
always
begin
start
with.
Legend.
Yeah, we always start with Legendary when we're playing Destiny or any of the Halo games, anything like that. Like hardest difficulty all the way.
I remember for Lightfall, the final boss, did we drop it then for that final fight, or no? Did we finish it on the max? Because I know that was right when Jordan started playing. We were like,
I think we had
2
to
weeks away from the expansion.
Dude,
Something like that.
Hans, bro, like I hear you do. Actually, I play a Worgen. Like that's actually the character class I'm playing is a Worgen. Kind of the whole like darkness to light, overcoming the curse kind of thing was my whole like thought process there. So I play a White Wolf. So yeah, happy hunting. And it's also kind of a nudge to The Witcher. Personally, yeah. Like, so yeah, dude, like Mr. Hans, like I came from a freaking crazy background. Like, yeah, I'm a pastor now. Like, I believe in Jesus. I love him. I love people, but I didn't always. Like, I was the guy that was like, you know what? Give me a bowl of popcorn and I'll watch the world burn. Like, that was kind of my mentality for a really long time, because the world didn't do anything for me but hurt me. And then, man, life exploded. Like I hit like rock bottom. I think I was under the rock is what it was. Yeah. It was rough, man. It was really bad. But the person, I'm saying it like that because he is a person, like that actually came to me and actually pulled me out of all of that was Jesus Christ. It wasn't some like, holier than thou priest or preacher, pastor, or anything like that. It was just real people who loved me and a God who actually showed up, like really showed up. Like I prayed and I asked for help and he did. And he still does and he still shows up, man. So like that's my thing. Like that's my shtick in all of this. My niche is I play video games that I like used to run to. Single saber. All right, man. All right. Man, dude, for me, that's a hard one, man. Like, so back during, like, I used to play the Old Republic. I played a Marauder back in the day. So it was dual sabers. And then I played here's an engineer, I think it was, like the healer class is what I played back when I used to raid in Knights of the Old Republic. Again, I played Sith then. I didn't have much in common with Jedi. I tended to kind of go more the Revan route. So started off on the dark side, kind of went light, and then kind of ended up in the middle. Okay. Yeah, Ahsoka style is pretty neat, dude. Like the Shoto Saber. Yeah. And dude, seriously, Hans, thank you for joining us, man. Like, it's a lot of fun.
I have a question.
What's up, sir?
So, in the first hero talent tree, the the shield I put on you, the Earth Shield.
Yeah.
So here it says Earth Shield has an additional 3 charges and heals you for 25% more. The additional 3 charge, does that mean, okay, so I put 9 stacks on you?
Correct.
Does this now mean I have 12 stacks?
Correct.
Gotcha.
And it heals for 25% more. Actually, I don't think I have, but I didn't know that existed. So now I'm super interested because R.A. Salvatore helped get me through high school. Like the Drizzt Do'Urden series, Harry Potter, and Aragorn, like by Christopher Paolini. Polini. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Vector Prime, dude. Okay, like I need to like take note of that. Actually, give me a second. I'm gonna land and stealth here. Oh wait, I'm not in war mode. I don't really need to stealth, but actually, I'm gonna put that into my notes, and I'm
You
gonna
say
check.
Vector Prime?
Yeah, Vector
What you
Prime.
said?
It was written by it's
That sounds extremely familiar.
Yeah, dude, seriously, like the Drizzt Do'Urden series, like R.A. Salvatore, Christopher Polini, um, the Elfstones of Shannara was super, super, super awesome in high school. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up, dude. Actually, let me just put it in my notes here. Give me just a second. So I'm definitely a bibliophile, like all the way. Which
Bibliophile?
I freaking love books. Okay, that's what that means.
Never heard that term.
Yeah, big words for simple concepts. Yeah, what can I say?
was just called
This
that
is-
a
I like
bookworm.
to read.
A bookworm. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, there
That's
you
like
go.
the layman's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the simplest way to put it. And I'm gonna have to take a quick second here, guys. Like my breakfast is doing its job.
Okay.
Vector Prime.
Sounds like
Come on.
it did its job then.
Yeah.
It's still in process. Like I'm sure there's more.
I'm going to use this opportunity to visit
That's nice.
King
Yeah.
John as well.
Come on. There we go. Now the phone is actually wanting to cooperate with me. Thank you.
When you do come back, or when we come back, then Alistair, I have completed the hero tree then.
Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into a delve. I hope you guys guys, seriously, like and share, please. Like what we're doing here is just like creating a space where gamers can come together, talk about stuff. Doesn't matter what it is. We can talk about Star Wars. We can talk about crazy topics if you really want to. But like, just realize like, yeah, I am a Christian. Yeah, I am a pastor. And I do really, really, really love people. And I just, yeah, want to hear what you guys think. And I want to understand you best I can. We don't have to agree. Now, if you are disrespectful, I got no problem like kicking you out. Okay. There are some boundaries that I have. All right. If you're going to be disrespectful, if you're going to try and tear other people down, then you're not going to be here, at least not for long. All right. I don't care how upset you are or how angry you feel. It doesn't give you a right to disrespect others. It doesn't. So that's what I'm sticking to. All right. So we've got moderators that are more than willing to do their job. So I love you guys, but please treat each other with respect and treat me with respect. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like me. There's tons of other channels out there you can go to, but I would love to hear from you. All right. I will be right back, like I said. And thank you, Miss Andrea, for checking about that on Kindle. I really do appreciate that. That would be flipping awesome. I will be right back. I have to use the restroom. Ah!
So Hans, what are some of your other hobbies? You like to read and you like Star Wars. That's already awesome enough. Just kind of curious, pick your brain a little bit, see some of your other hobbies, if you're cool sharing with that. Pretend to know how to build things. Like, what you more at carpentry? You like to work on cars, bikes, that sort of thing? Are you more techie, like to rebuild computers? What does that entail? Not good at any of it. Okay, I get that. I just took a drink of a really cold smoothie. It's like very, very icy. Hey, thank you for the like. How long you been playing World of Warcraft? And if you already answered that, my apologies. I was reading and doing other things earlier. Nine-year break. Wow. I started, like Alistair said earlier, I don't know if you're here for that part, but I only started. This is my second renewal for the monthly subscription, so I haven't played very long. We were in, I was there for the very beginning of the War Within. I'd say about, I don't know, 2 weeks before War Within launched. That's when me and also Bick, who's also here, he is Orella, I think that's how you pronounce his character name. But yeah,
Thank
so we're
you.
definitely still pretty green. Hello, Math Zach. Welcome in. Welcome in.
What's up, Zach? All right, I'm back. All right, guys, let me go ahead and invite you. Did you guys message Snow at all?
Did
See
you
how he's
stop?
doing?
I did. No response. Hans, did you stop playing just because of like got bored, bad expansion, or if it's personal, you don't have to answer by any means.
I mean, the only times I stopped is when I got in trouble.
So you could. And Al, do I already know who Math Zach is?
Yeah, that's Zach.
Like, yeah, that's what I figured.
Yep. Ooh, 0.5 gig. Wow. That's.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely amazing, bro. Like dinosaur internet.
Dude, growing
did it
up,
go?
we were lucky if we got 12 megabytes for our download speed. That was lucky.
Yeah.
You could pretty much just watch Netflix. That was all you could. And two people couldn't be on at the same time.
Yep. Well, I mean, dude, I started playing this game with that kind of internet. Orella declines my group invitation. Did he go to the bathroom?
Okay. Remember, he said something about visiting King John.
Ah, okay,
okay. It's got to be at least a minute or 11 minutes and 31 seconds for him. It's nuts, bro. It is. I'll be sitting here waiting on. We'll be in the middle of a conversation. He goes to the bathroom. I'm like, honey, you want to get a deck of cards and start playing a round or two?
It is what it is, man. But yeah, we're gonna dive into a delve, which I think is quite fitting. Oh, and guess what, guys? Nightfall Sanctum is bountiful today, so we may
I
get
don't remember them all by name. I first need to get to you.
So Nightfall Sanctum.
anniversary place.
Okay, yeah, Nightfall Sanctum is the one that often has an abundance of tinderboxes. It tends to have a higher drop rate of them.
Nice.
Yes.
Which one of these portals is back to Dornagal?
The one that says Dornagal. You have to go. So if you are in, if you're in Stormpike, you have to go. Stormpike, not
Stormwind.
Stormwind. Sorry, I was thinking Alteric Valley a second ago. So if you're in Stormwind, you're gonna want to go back further into the portal area, and you'll find Dornagal in one of kind of the off sides. Okay.
Is it upstairs or no?
I think it's upstairs. I think.
Okay.
So don't quote me.
I could have used my Hearthstone, but just in case.
I mean, you
It's still
could. You could.
Pretty long cooldown.
It's 10 minutes, dude.
Plus, I'd kind of like to know which one it actually is.
Oh, okay. Well, that
On
works.
Bella Meth. It's cool. You can see all these like openings, like it almost looks like.
All right, I have returned.
Hey, that's a record, bro.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, maxing out professions nowadays is a lot
There
of
it
work,
is.
bro. It is. Like I'm doing leatherworker. I've got I think everything unlocked, but it's not all maxed. I mean, my specialization's still like. Let me take a look here.
I'm a 61 on jewel crafting.
Well, I'm 100 out of 100 on all of them, but like maxing out the specializations, I still have a lot to do here in Learned Leatherworker. I've got everything unlocked for the main things here. That for like Concrete Chitin, Flawless Forte, but like all of the side things.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's
yeah, yours is a lot busier than mine.
yeah. Like I've got
Jewel crafting's a bit busy, but yeah, the mining.
wow,
isn't
I've
nearly
got
as busy as that.
13 like leatherworking knowledge I have not
You're
used.
just saving them up.
Just sitting there. I didn't realize that, guys. So give me a second.
I have a
here.
hard time saving anything more than 10. I'm like, I get excited. Like, no, let's go upgrade something. I'm so close to being able to get. What are those books called that you can purchase and they increase it by 10?
So yeah, on my so those are the books you get that in. I don't remember what they're called. It's just some kind of
I don't know. Yeah. I just have one more available. It's the big 400 pointer.
Let's see here. So this one, improve your gain +3 ingenuity per point in the specialization. Okay, that just makes it easier to get stuff back. It refunds materials for resourcefulness. This additional 5%
Hans,
concentration.
By any chance, you an anime fan?
Industrious innovations.
So, Elser, I bypassed pretty much all Farseer content when I was watching stuff, so I am not sure how this class works or what to prioritize as far as that.
Go to rotation.
goes.
Go into rotations. Rotations, cooldowns, and stuff like that in the main menu there at Icy Veins, and read it. You'll have an idea, and then you just practice and see what works. Chain Heal is a really big one, but you just read all the talents, bro, and you have your spell book. You should have an idea what to do. So the talents that you choose and stuff like that amplify the abilities you're going to use the most. So Earth Shield, all right, was amplified. Chain Heal has been amplified, and things that are connected to that, like Healing Surge, etc. So you should have access to Healing Rain. It shouldn't, because you don't have the totemic specialization. You should have Healing Rain, which is going to have a much less mana cost, but it's not going to heal for as much as long. So again, like, read the rotation, see what it says when it comes to Resto Shamans. Go ahead and read through that real quick. That's my suggestion. Do it now. I mean, I could do that, but that sounds kind of...
Do it now.
Do it now. Do it. Do that. Yeah. If that actually worked, dude, like that would yeah. So I've been maining a tank and a healer since Wrath. Yeah, Wrath of the Lich King. Before that, in Burning Crusade, it was Shadow Priest, Hunter, and then Vanilla was Hunter. Yeah, Vanilla was Hunter. That was Zolgarub, Ankiraj, Molten Core. Yeah, I didn't play Nax back in Vanilla. It wasn't in a guild that was able to do that. But yeah, and I was still a kid, dude. I really was, man. I was not going to say I was good then, 'cause I wasn't. I played a survival hunter in Vanilla, bro. I wasn't good. A Pally healer is nice, dude. With Pally healers is basically never stop casting. I mean, that's really your thing. Like flash heal, holy light, flash heal, holy light, throw consecration down, maybe chuck a hammer or something at the enemies you're fighting, you know, some CC. That's about your job. Make sure your auras are up. Yeah, not a difficult healing class, and it's fun. Because of, I think, the simplicity that kind of comes along with it. My go-to healing class is Druid. Like, so I've been playing Druid kind of religiously for, I want to say since Legion, I would say. Like, so I main tanked in a guild during Legion on my Death Knight, and then kind of started kind of playing around with healing. I still had my priest at that point in time. This is Horde side, and yes, played a lot of discipline and holy during that time. And then I wasn't around for BFA, or I only played at the tail end of Mists of Pandaria. Like right before Legion like hit after Warlords. Dude, they are really cool, dude. They really are. Evokers are a really neat class. Like I will admit. Like, all right, give me a second here. I'm so busy talking, I've lost my train of thought here. Give me a second. I was gonna do something here. We're actually gonna max this out, and then we're gonna start here into resourcefulness. Just make things. Yeah, there we go. And wait a second. I gotta look at my skinning too. Buttons. Oh, I have 11 like knowledge for skinning that I haven't done anything with. That's all. Just max it out. All right. I got a lure for fish. There we go. All right. I'm gonna send you an invite here, Mr. Bickums. So talk to me. What are you learning, buddy?
Well, I'm just reading through some of the like, let's see here. If using Farser, you should make sure to use the short cooldown nature swiftness replacement of ancestral swiftness as often as possible
Okay.
on Primordial Wave. But I wasn't the talent tree that it told me to get told me to ignore Primordial Wave.
Well, okay. So this is something you're gonna learn about that. Those are what would be considered situational talents. Okay. So if it's a situational talent, you need to take a second and consider like what you're going into. Is that going to be useful or not? Like that's the question you have to ask yourself. So, all right, saying to use Primordial Wave, all right, with Nature Swiftness or Ancestral Swiftness, whichever one you have, as often as possible. Well, if you're not going to use it with that, then what long cooldown spell do you have, or like long cast time? Sorry, not cooldown. Long cast time spell words. Do you have that would also benefit from it? That's the question I would start to ask myself. Okay.
Okay.
This is why reading all of the talents is really helpful, so you actually have an overview of the character. It is. It's helpful. But you're learning, and that takes time. So, and Shaman is definitely a more in-depth class than, say, a Hunter or a Rogue or a Warrior. Why does Anakin and Vader stand out as your favorites? That directed at boosting vibes.
Yes, that's boosting vibes.
Gotcha. Yeah, for me, they're definitely not my favorite.
No,
Not even.
I never hated Anakin, but I never loved Anakin. He was not my top. Yeah,
no,
he wasn't in my top 5.
I mean, there's a lot of things that happened in all of that I think could have been avoided by.
He just never really stood out to me as like a you know, like that one character that's really spoke to you. For me, it was easily Kenobi and Ahsoka.
Yeah, for me it was Qui-Gon.
Not really Luke even. Qui-Gon not until I was like more of an adult. I'd say my early 20s is when I really started seeing. Honestly, when I met you, you really changed my perspective on that. I would have always told you Kenobi beforehand. Then Ayla Secura. Some that I can't stand would be like Luminara. Mace.
I
I'm not a
never.
fan of
Yeah,
Mace
I don't
Windu.
like Miss Windu. No, I don't like him either. He's like he is
Nothing
the.
against Samuel Jackson, bro. The character of Mace Windu, I don't
No,
like.
he's a self-righteous, egotistical, arrogant fool. Dude, Han Solo is great though. Like, dude, I love that man. Like, and yeah, your name's Hans.
Yeah.
Ha, 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 ha.
He would have made a poor Jedi, but he was great.
Oh,
for,
he
like,
would have made
the
a
role he
terrible
played.
Jedi, but he made a great smuggler. Like, his character, he played well.
Now, how about Yoda? Where does he stand for you when it comes to your like
I love
top
Yoda.
5? Is
I
he
do
even there?
love Yoda,
Yeah,
but
see,
it's
for me,
like
he's
he
like right top
he
5.
knew
That's
he
what I'm
knew
quite
there
right.
was a problem and he ignored it. That's the thing. So Mace Windu he convinced himself there was no problem. Yoda knew there was a problem and he ignored it. Like that's I think almost worse in some ways. It's like Yoda knew better. Like he understood there
could
was
feel it.
he could
sense there
feel
was
something was wrong and that there's something had like really gone wrong in the Jedi Council. Like there was this they're blinding themselves to something. And that's arrogance. And pride blinds you. Makes you unable to actually learn and to grow. So it's
In that too, they were so afraid to feel that they like ignored fear. They ignored a lot of the emotions too. They just acted like there wasn't.
Bro,
a problem
I'm gonna say this, Hans, and I'm gonna make this super clear. Identity politics in entertainment needs to go away. That's what I have to say about the Acolyte. Okay, like it could have been great. It could have been absolutely wonderful, but they brought freaking identity politics into Star Wars, and it killed it for me. Like I got no problem with strong women. I married a strong woman, man. Like, but just why? Like, why? It was terrible. Like, yeah. Like, so what? You put your funding towards this over the Mandalorian? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, here's actual heroics for what? What did we get in exchange? Like, how did that story benefit you? Like, as a person, Hans, I guess that's my question. Like, that's where my take kind of comes from. My perspective is like, okay, how is this beneficial? Like, what is this actually feeding in my life? Like, is this adding value to me in some way, shape, or form? And I didn't see that with the Acolyte. I didn't see value added. I saw, like, a bunch of stupid is what I saw. And, like, it just, no, I didn't like it. I like, it could be great. I really think there's something there in the storyline that could be absolutely amazing. But it didn't happen. Not
time era too. It could have been so much.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like they have so much to play off of there. So much if they freaking went into it. Man, they were exalting the darkness, Hans. I don't think that's helpful for humanity and in general. Like I don't sit here and say ignore it. Like anger, fear, jealousy, pride, all of those things are things we as humans deal with every day. If you don't get tempted by anything, like I really wonder where you came from. Yeah, I think it's important to understand the difference between good and evil. Like the way that I've learned to define good and evil is pretty simple, honestly. Good is that which maintains, protects, and supports life. Okay, that's a very like kind of simple definition, but I find that it applies. And evil is that which corrupts, degrades, and denigrates life. Okay, that's what I have seen. And I like if you want to test that, I mean, let's look at your own life and go, well, would I like somebody to harm me? Do I want somebody to take away the opportunities that I have for growth and abundance and dreams and stuff like that? Is that something I actually want? Now, if it is something that you want, okay, why? Why is it something that you want? And oftentimes when I get that question or that kind of thought process from an individual, it's because somebody took something from them and they want to hurt others the way they were hurt. Ooh, I like that. I like that perspective, dude. From boosting vibes, that is a good perspective. Like that, no matter how far gone you are, like you can see the light in the end, dude. I like that, dude. I hear you. I think that is an amazing perspective to have. Like, I mean, in the end, yeah. Vader did okay, dude. Hey, seriously, thank you for chatting with us, man. Hope to see you again. And anybody else, man, you guys got questions, comments, anything you guys want to say? We're hanging out, playing some World of Warcraft, and talking about life and Jesus and Star Wars and whatever else pops up. Vanilla Massacre. Wow. Ooh, cat paws. Why, thank you. I don't know why mine are cat paws, but I'm okay with that. I like kitty cats. We're good.
You said it works.
Thank you for the gift, bro. That's always cool. So what? So I got a question, bro. Like, why would you want to massacre vanilla? Like, bro, like it makes chocolate taste better. I'm talking from a baking perspective, but yeah, it's an inside joke. Get it? You have to put the vanilla inside the chocolate. Inside joke. No, that was a bad pun. I'm sorry, the dad jokes are coming out. Caden, are you around? Want to make sure you heard that.
That was special for you.
That was all for you, sir.
You do it just to see you smile.
Yeah. As he shakes his head. I can see it. I can see it now. Can you guys see it? Like Caden just like smiles.
I'm crying a little bit.
Crying a little bit inside, right? Wow. Wow. Like that got dark really fast.
He's
Hey.
like, this is the church I'm a part of. This is
These are my brothers, guys.
This is what happened. Where did I go wrong?
I now regret my life choices. I love you guys. Okay. Son of a biscuit. All right, guys. So Mr. Bick, Mr. Preston, where you guys at? How you doing, Mr. Bick? I'm still waiting for you guys here at Nightfall Sanctum. I'm just flying around in circles.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still
I just been
reading.
at the auction house.
Yeah, I've been waiting for you guys. Like I've been waiting for Bick to be
Yeah.
like, I'm ready. I think I can do this. And yeah. Oh, really? What's up? Edward Addington Jr. Edward Addington. That is a very statuesque name. Statuesque. I like that word. It sounds fun. I just got a message somewhere. Hello, Miss Redland. How are you? Hello? Have we got anybody on YouTube over here? Where did my wife get? Somebody message my wife, please, and be like, where you at?
Did you catch that, Beth?
Goodness
Okay, she heard
gracious.
you.
Thank you, Beth. Whoop. I used your real name. Sorry.
So did I.
Oh, you did, didn't you? You did it first. It's okay now. I can blame you. I don't know about you guys, but this has been a blast. Like, I'm having
I
a
had more
ton of
tonight
fun.
than I did last night. Even though we
Yeah.
haven't actually played, I'm actually having fun.
Yeah, dude. Well,
Which
this
is
is
kinda
what it's
funny.
about, man. It's about like creating community and engagement and just like enjoying the company of other people. We don't have to believe in Jesus to be able to treat each other with kindness and respect. You know,
On that,
it's
we don't have
easier.
to follow the same politics either. I've
No.
been looking at that with a buddy online. It's like, man, we don't have to follow the same anything in order to, have a conversation. And just
Right.
it all started with there's this I have not fact checked any of this, so just take it with a grain of salt. This cop who had said he wouldn't save somebody's life if they voted for one particular party
But then
over
you
the
need
other.
to not be a cop.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. And the person who posted was very angry. And then they said,
Right.
well, then this guy's not going to save my life because of who I voted for. And I was thinking, like, I understand, like, having a difference in opinion. But if you were serious in any way, shape, or form, that guy should lose his badge.
I
Okay?
agree. I
I
mean,
don't care what side
yeah,
I don't care what side he's on.
I
Left,
agree
right,
with
I
you.
don't care.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Like
it's just
officers, all right, police officers. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care what like politics you prescribe to. They are there to serve and protect. If they are using the authority that they have been given in order to, in any way, any shape and form, like be tyrannical, all right, then they have no business being on the force. And this qualified immunity, I think, should be taken away. I really do. I don't think it is the taxpayer's job to be paying for their mess ups. I don't. I think that is an absolutely foolish conceptualization in current law enforcement in the States. Qualified immunity needs to be gone. Now, mind you, I have family who have been in law enforcement and who are, and I still believe that you should pay for your mistakes. Like, if you break the law while having been sworn to maintain and uphold the Constitution, okay, the basis of law in the United States, then you should be able to receive the consequences yourself. Period. It should not be on the backs of the taxpayers. I think that is absolutely ridiculous because now there's no real consequences. Oh, they get a slap on the wrist. Oh, okay. Oh, I still got my pension. No. Like, if you end a person's life without just cause, then I do believe that you should be subjected to the law. Period. That's it. I've seen power abuse too much. Okay. All right, explain that to me. Okay. I'm listening, bud. Hmm. May I share kind of a situation that I'm talking about more specifically to kind of get context? Would that be helpful? Hey, bud. So, hey, Dylan, first off, like talking down is not cool. All right. I'm asking with a genuine curiosity to better understand your statement. All right. Whether it's simple or not, it doesn't always appear that way. Okay. From an outside perspective. All right. I'm talking about instances where, let's say, from an outside perspective, all right, from maybe my perspective, they did break a law, but when they go before, how do I want to put this? Let's say that within the Bureau or the law enforcement community, they say, oh, no, well, the law wasn't actually broken. Like, the whole concept of qualified immunity, like, why is it necessary? I guess maybe that's a question that I have here. I've seen it abused so often. Like, I guess that's a better question. Why do you believe it's necessary? Let me go ahead. I'm actually going to pull this up. I want to better understand this. Well, right. Like that makes sense. Like what I'm reading here, yeah. But I've seen qualified immunity, so officers have to handle situations that are tense, uncertain, rapidly evolving. They're human. I completely agree. Sometimes they don't make the perfect choice, which results in getting sued. Right. That makes sense. The issue that I see with this though, and I'm reading like the actual like the legal principle that we're seeing here. I'll go ahead and actually read it. Qualified immunity is a second. Okay. As long as no law was broken or policy violated or what they did was already clearly defined in case. Right. But again, that often doesn't seem to happen. Okay. Like, so an individual sues a cop for like violating some right that an individual has. All right. Like they don't have probable like suspicion, like for searching a vehicle, etc. Probable cause. Then they receive call. Right. But here's the thing. Like if they're going and they actually win the case, wouldn't that say that something was violated? Like they actually receive a judgment from a court of law stating that, yes, this was violated. Why is it that the department is actually the one paying for the lawsuit and not the actual officer who broke the law, or in this case, like violated a right of a citizen? That's where I don't fully understand like the contextual basis of it. Why is it so important? Like, I mean, the often like what I see here, and this is brought up in what I'm the article that I'm reading, is critics argue that qualified immunity has allowed police officers to escape accountability and civil liability for engaging in violent and abusive acts. Okay. All right. And I do appreciate that. What I'm saying, Dylan, all right, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. All right. I want to make that very, very clear. What I am saying is that it has been abused. That's what I'm saying. And that I believe that we, as people, can come up with a better solution. All right? The reason I broached that topic to begin with is because it is something that I have seen, something that I myself have experienced, okay? And I believe that there are way better ways of handling disputes between law enforcement and citizens other than what we currently have in place. I'll give you an example. So let's say an individual, all right, has a history of mental illness, okay? Most officers are not trained in de-escalation tactics when dealing with specific types of mental illness, all right? Now, this is coming from my personal experience, all right? Having worked as an investigative analyst, I was not a police officer. Okay, I worked with them. All right. So having seen that on more than one occasion where an individual with some sort of mental illness receives basically, I've seen police officers like straight up just try to trigger people into getting that response. But then when actually like brought before a court of law, like, well, they're mentally ill, and like, oh, well, yeah, they just got triggered, and they use that as an excuse instead of actually being upfront with, hey, like, this could have been de-escalated. Like, you could have treated the individual with kindness and respect. You didn't. Like, there was a history here. You did not take that into account. You ended up really harming the person and creating an even greater level of, like, burden on that individual. Right? That's the kind of context I'm working with here, specifically with those who have mental disabilities, handicaps, etc. Okay? Like, so often these kind of conceptualizations that we have, what I mean by that, these principles that we have in place to protect law enforcement, what it tends to do is it tends to be abused. Now, I'm not saying in every case. I think at times, like, that concept is amazing, it's great, it's necessary. All right? So how do we get around that? Okay, cool. Like, then, dude, Dylan, I'm going to say this. I think we're in agreement, dude. Thank you so much for challenging me. I really do appreciate that. Like, I'll be honest with you, dude. I got no problem with that at all. Like, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to have discussions and talk about whatever. I mean, we can talk about Hunter x Hunter, and we can talk about like legal like precedents and principles in day-to-day life and law. So yeah, I think it's fun. I don't know about you. So, hey, Dylan, do you mind if I ask you a question? Right. And dude, I agree with you. Do like if it actually, I think that's the thing with systems is like they do need to be evolving and adapting. Yep, they do. But on the other side of it too, man, there's some amazing people out there too. Like I have met some absolutely amazing cops and judges and lawyers, just like I've seen the other side of it too, man. Like the duality of our nature is that we have a choice, we have a free will, we have the ability to choose good or evil. I just think we need to have consequences for evil. I think that's a big one. Is making sure that there are those consequences, that the due diligence is actually being, hashed out. There is the investigative process that is going into these instances, and if new evidence comes to light, that these cases are being reopened and looked at, all right, like and not being buried. That's my belief, and I've seen good fruit from that. I've seen where you have an individual who does that due diligence and really looks at that situation where somebody was hurt and like new evidence comes to light, there's some connection there, they've met on the street before, or say they have there's a personal vendetta there. And yeah, like I agree, but doing away with qualified would hurt more good cops than bad cops. I'll be honest, you may be right. You may, I don't know. I would, yeah, I don't have enough information, honestly, to say whether that is true or not. Honestly, there's a lot of, we have to understand the kind of the nature of crime. Crime in and of itself is you're doing something that goes against the, the basis of common law, which, comes out of, the Mosaic Law in reality. So that's what most of Western culture is based off, the judicial system, etc. The Bill of Rights, and the Constitution is based off of those systems of treat others the way that you would like to be treated. That's kind of the essence of it. So when you're dealing with crime, you're dealing with an individual who has decided to not do the work in order to obtain something. Okay, they're trying to take something from somebody else in order to have it. So coming from that perspective, like maybe doing away with qualified immunity in general is not a good idea. You very may be right coming from that perspective. The other side of it is how do we get the system to actually work? Like what's your idea on that? Like what do you think could be done in those situations to better hash out whether a traffic stop was actually, with cause? Does everybody need to carry a dash camera? I hope not. I agree with you, dude. I do think that has been great, but what do you do when you have those officers that like turn it off, or like have some glorious excuse not to have it on? Or when you actually employ your rights as a citizen to speak to a supervisor to challenge the stop, and these cops are just, they don't care, like, and then they use legal jargon in order to create a situation where they, without actually expressing it, say they have probable cause to search a vehicle. It's been made very, very clear in the Supreme Court that just because you smell marijuana in a car, that doesn't give you probable cause to search it. Yet there are a lot of cops that still use that junk. I just, situations like that I find very, very interesting, and I would love to kind of sort through what is a way that we can like really start to see change in law enforcement, for the better. Not just change for change's sake. I don't think that's helpful at all. But Yeah, I think that's a really good thought kind of to kind of look at, and recognizing that the thoughts that you have, the words that you have, the things that you speak are important. I believe you still have a thought that you're working on there. It says, well, turning them off should be a clear policy violation, and I completely agree with you. But it often happens, and then it turns into that whole I don't think the consequences for the officers are nearly as stringent as they need to be for those policy violations. I think that's part of it. Is there needs to be a system that, like, the consequence fits the crime kind of concept, right? Where if they are violating policy and there is a right that may or may not have been violated, right? I mean, we are still in a system where innocent until proven guilty. Well, okay, so I'm coming from a perspective where I do understand those things. I do understand what, why, and how. All right. That is a perspective that I do believe I have a pretty decent understanding of. I'm not going to say I understand it all. I don't. That's not a claim I'm going to make. But a reason why a lot of these policies are in place is for transparency and accountability. What the argument that I'm making here is that, oh, you're talking about the general public. Okay, thank you. Context. It's always so much fun. And I do believe that's a problem, like a lack of information and a lack of education. But that opens up a whole other bag of worms. Like, what do you do with misinformation? What do you do when, like, 90% of your media sources are just feeding you crap? Like, I think that in of itself is another entire issue that, like, I think needs to be dealt with in general. And yeah, really does create this really interesting world that we currently live in, where people think that they understand something when in reality there's just an absolute lack. Yeah, no, it's not our job to fix everything. But I tell you what, man, I'm going to do my best to do whatever God puts in front of me. I'll say that much. And I think these conversations are really important. I mean, this is a public platform. You know, this gives an opportunity to educate individuals in kind of understanding the dichotomy of, you know, a citizen versus, you know, an individual of an officer, right? And kind of understanding that dichotomy and sitting down and having those conversations and seeing from the different perspectives and then being able to have a logical, reasoned discussion where you're seeking to understand. Like, that's civilization 101. Like, that's how we went from hitting each other with freaking sticks to, like, having intelligent discourse. It's one of the reasons why we are the, like, I would say the apex on the food chain here in this world. It's not because we're the strongest physically. It's not because we have the sharpest teeth or the longest claws. It's not because we can fly. It's because we have minds and a consciousness and a spirit and the ability to create and employ different tactics in different situations, to create tools that enable us to overcome difficulties. I think that is one of the major reasons why we're able to do what we can do. And when we take reason out of the equation, we become no better than those animals that we seek to have dominion over. I think that we lose our right to rule. When we allow our emotions to do our thinking for us, then what's the difference? You know, emotions are just one piece of the puzzle, and an incredibly important one. They show us where we've been. But if you allow them to take you where you're going to keep going back to where you've been. You're not going to grow. You're not going to heal. So, yeah. Like, I love this, dude. Like, so Dylan, my question for you earlier was like, so how do you feel about this discussion so far? Are you enjoying it? As I do laps, like, seriously, I'm not a guy that stands still well. Been doing this forever in World of Warcraft. And yeah, thank you, Bickums and Mr. Preston, for being so patient with me. Like, we can dive into this delve here at any point. It's like, it's 9:40 my time, 8:40 your guys' time. So we definitely got some time here. And if we don't get to a Mythic Plus today, that's fine, guys. I just want to get some more gear for our resto chamois here.
And trinkets for myself.
Yes, dude. Hey, man, dude.
I finally got my mining fundamentals. I just got the final point as you were talking with Mr.
Mr. Dillon?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah, so I was excited for that. Now I can finally mine and stay mounted.
Cool. So I'm going into tier 8. We're just going to go ahead and, yeah. Nah, bro. Like, I want to better understand it. The moment you brought it up, dude, I'm like, okay, hey, you know, I'm sure there's more I can learn here. Like, bro, I learned real quick a long time ago, bro. I don't know everything. There's a lot I don't know. There's a lot I don't understand. I'm not going to say I'm an expert in anything, because then what happens is you tend to stop learning. I don't want to do that.
I remember this one. I don't remember the bad guys, though.
Now, there's 3 different storylines in each delve. So, and they rotate.
What's Sky Fury do, Jordan?
If I remember correctly, that is, it's a
2%
totem.
Mastery increase and 20% chance to instantly strike again on your auto attack. Okay.
And that gives, he
I
gives
didn't
that to
see him
everybody,
place a
doesn't it?
totem or anything.
No, he doesn't have to. It's an aura, I
I'm
think.
not sure. It's up at the top. It just says Sky Fury.
Yeah, oh no, it's a buff.
can't
like
really see it.
yeah, it's a buff like my
buffs are too
Mark of the
small to
Wild.
actually see the... Okay.
Nice, dude. Yeah, dude. Seriously, man. Like, we're just a tiny, like, tiny guild off on Cenarius. Like, I mean, we're looking for more people. Honestly, we're looking for more people to raid with us. We want to get into high-end raiding. I've been playing this game since I was 16. I'm 36. The 20 anniversary was the 20 years I've been playing this game. Where are you running, bro? What you doing, sir?
I too do not like to stand still.
What's a good way to
I've been
control
flying
your
around mining.
anxiety? Process it. That's a really good way of dealing with the anxiety. Like, actually identify the emotion. Okay, so you said fear, anxiety. And then what's the belief and kind of the thoughts that are being produced around that? I think usually in cases like that, it goes to safety. Like, recognizing that God does have ultimate control of the situation. He is the judge. That's not saying he's making decisions for us, but he does give us the consequences and the reward for our decisions. So look at the fear. Recognize, like, if there is any truth in it, is there valid concerns? All right. And if there's any fears that are just not based in reality, and then go from there. Shadowberry, can you interrupt that, Mr. Preston, please? Makes my job a whole lot more difficult. Or not.
Over there.
All right, I will go over and do it myself. There we go.
He's good.
I just interrupted him. That's why it's...
I did my bounce.
I
So I'm not
punched
sure
him in the
which one did it.
face with my skull. Skull bashed him. That's what just
Okay.
happened. Oh,
He
guys,
died.
run. Like, don't stand in the purple.
deaded.
Don't stand in purple goo. Purple goo will unalive you.
Let me just Sir, what's his name? Brack, does he trigger those?
What? Bran, I think he can. I'm not
Bran.
sure. So, yeah, I'd have to double check. I think he does. I think he can run through it and trigger it. He just doesn't take nearly as much damage as everybody else does. He's able to self-heal pretty effectively. I still have him on the healer, like, specialization just to kind of give Arella,
Saw that.
like, a bit of...
A break.
Yeah, well, it's he's learning a new talent specialization. I'd like him to get the basics and the fundamentals of it down as he's researched, and then see what works for him. Like, I'm not seeing him have any problems with mana at this point, which is great. Like, usually, like, I see him, like, dropping mana like it's
We had to
an
break this,
Olympic
right?
sport. Yeah, I'm gonna, like, you guys go for the braziers, please. I'm gonna, like, so Arella, stick with me. Let Ilaria grab braziers, and just Preston, don't pull stuff, please. But
Pull the brazier.
yeah, so, like, going back to the question that was asked just a moment ago by Mr. Boosting Vibes, that's my suggestion, dude, is just really start to look at yourself and ask questions. Like, think it through. Like, the kind of foundation for thinking and reasoning is asking good questions. Who, what, where, why, when, and how. Why questions are incredibly powerful because it helps you kind of get down to the root of whatever it is you're feeling. All right. I think that's a really important aspect. And then just making choices. Like, okay, I believe that, like, let's say that a simple lie would be, well, I'm not safe. Like, if you believe that, then you're likely going to experience fear far more often. So then, all right, then you have to go, okay, like, what do I need? All right, what evidence do I need to have that I am safe? Okay. And this is where I lean on my relationship with Jesus Christ. You know, Psalms 27, Psalms 23, Psalms 24, the promises that God gives us, you know, of when we walk through a valley of the shadow of death, that we fear no evil, for he is with us. His rod and his staff comfort and protect us. Like, I take those negative thoughts and I replace them with the truth as revealed by the Holy Spirit. Ooh,
I just clipped the
yep,
brazier.
move. Don't stand in it.
Thing I don't need.
Sir, don't stand in it. Don't just sit there and like
Doesn't show
keep
how much damage it would do.
enough. Don't
It wasn't too bad, but yeah,
enough.
still don't need to.
Don't
need
do
to
that,
waste mana
please.
for Jordan.
It's not just that though, dude. Like, yeah, just don't get in a habit of doing that. Like, get out of like, ow. Like, don't
Sure.
just don't just don't stand there like, oh, let's just tickle us a little bit. Like, oh, but in reality, it's punching me in the face. Oh, echo of Renelash. Let's see if I can interrupt it. There we go. Now he's doing it again. Fine, I'll get out of it. Raw. Oh, nice. You interrupted it with an explosive trap.
Awesome, I think it works really well.
It does.
I'm
It's
liking
a
this
great.
new one too.
It's a
The new
great
binding one that since they've upgraded it.
Oh, dude, that's great because it gives an actual stun now, doesn't it? It doesn't just root them.
It roots and stuns them for 4 seconds if they leave the vicinity of the trap.
Oh, okay,
And
so
then
it'd
they
be a
also
good
have to
idea. So,
take
dude, if you
10% more
communicate,
damage.
if you communicate when you actually like put that down,
But you know when
like,
I'm running it?
yeah, I will run them out
You
so you
can pull
get
them
the
away
stun
from it,
and
can't
they
you?
take the extra
Okay.
damage.
See,
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that. You can pull
Yeah.
them from it. Okay, cool.
yep.
Cool.
It's a just communicate it, bro. Yeah, super
Yeah.
helpful. Let me get this little guy.
Brazier.
Let me get these little guys.
You say
over here.
brazier, brazier. How do you guys say that?
Potato,
That's a word that's always been
potato,
tough for me.
tomato. Like, how much wood could a
Come on,
woodchuck
Candy.
chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Like, yeah. All righty. So, hey, boosting vibes. Did that help at all, man? Oh, he just came back. It said. I don't know, dude. Did you hear what I said? Boosting
Body
vibes.
signal, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. There are spiritual realities that most people had. Yeah, doing that. Like, the unseen is a thing. So how are you doing with your spell casting, bud? Like, are you just... So remember, continual cast is kind of your, like, that is during an encounter, any encounter, just keep on healing, bro. It like, you actually regenerate more mana as you continue to heal than you would if you stop casting. Because what it does is it activates your MP5, which is mana per 5 seconds, when you are in combat and actually healing. At least it used to. If it doesn't anymore, then somebody please correct me. It may be old information. Been playing this game for so long. Like, dude, yeah, you're not like... now, on my screen, it doesn't show you losing any mana. Like, so I'm not gonna... How is your
That's how it
mana...
was for me last night, too, so...
Yeah, so how is your mana, like, actually doing over there, Mr. Bickums?
He who is possibly muted.
Right. I'm not hearing anything from him.
He's been
Oh,
quiet for a while.
let's go over here.
Jordan, mic check.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I muted myself because I was listening to a video on Farseer while you were talking. Because I wanted to better understand it, and I forgot to unmute myself. So I'm
You watch
like,
anime.
no, I was not watching anime.
Dude, giving him so much crap. You are welcome, boosting vibes. I'm glad I can help.
I don't believe I went down further than an eighth of my mana bar.
Dude, that's awesome. That's
Nice,
so
dude,
different.
nice.
And like my my
Yeah.
actual health is actually staying far more stable at this point, which is wonderful. I'm super glad to see that. That is great. All right, we're gonna have a...
Yeah, 'cause I was wondering about that because Your bar and my bar never seemed to move nearly as low as his was getting. So I didn't know if that was just part of his class. I wasn't sure what that was
Let's see if I
about.
can get this Nightfall.
Well, it turns out my class has, or the one I was running.
Is the what's the most like mana intensive of the specializations, and it gets easier to manage when you have a higher item level.
Okay.
Like, so if your item level, I think,
Higher
is
as
like
in like 620 or
I think it's over 615. I think is the benchmark for totemic. Like, it gets much easier to manage once you have a specific level of intellect. Worst anime? Well, dude, there's a lot of bad ones out there.
There is.
There's a lot of really,
I haven't
really bad
I haven't
ones.
seen a terrible one except for that one time you
then
showed
you
me
haven't-
with your mom and my wife.
Which one?
Okay,
got those things the same thing
Maid
immediately.
is,
They want that
Dragon Maid
dragon.
isn't that bad, all right? It's just
Which
what
one?
you're
How did you know I was
used to
thinking about it?
watching.
How did you know I was thinking about that one though?
Which one?
Because you
I
say
thought
that
that's terrible.
always.
Wait, which
You're always
one?
The one that
No.
says
Oh my
that.
gosh! Like, hi
You always
guys.
say that's your worst one.
Which one? Are you
Dragon Maid. Dragon Maid. Mr. Ellis.
Oh, dude, I love that one. It is bad
See,
though.
exactly. Yeah,
It's pretty bad.
It was so cringy.
It
It
is.
was just so
but it's
cringy.
like
We're
it's
sitting there all watching it, and you're like,
It's a
I
good
forgot I was
cringe.
high last time I watched this, like 5-10 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you forgot a lot then, because this is not a good anime to recommend to a noob.
no,
My
it
wife's
was
sitting
not.
there
I admit that. Yeah, not newbie worthy. No.
It was bad, man. I was like,
I'm
I'm
sitting there
watching.
thinking
It's like,
Master Roshi's
um,
pervert.
For me, I gotta say Attack on Titan because I couldn't even finish it.
oh, what is
2.5
wrong
seasons
with
deep.
you, sir? Like, be still. That like
Which one?
just what? Like, what? How? What?
Yeah, I couldn't finish it, dude. I was able to finish, or not finish, but the Immortal King in Chinese, and I don't like Chinese, but I was able to finish that,
I love Chinese
and that
food.
is pretty bad. I do too. Chinese food is immaculate.
I
Besides
just
the
I
ranch.
don't something I'm missing something here,
my
man.
trap,
Like something
Alistair.
is all right. See how awesome that was? That was the bomb
is-
diggity
that
right
is-
there, bro. That was pretty.
That's fun.
That was pretty styling, man. Let's keep that up. All right, so
It's
my
got
health
a
is
45-second
dropping
cooldown.
quite a bit here right now. So what are some
Yep.
things? So how is Healing Rain? How are you like? I don't see you putting that down where I'm standing.
Oh no, I've been.
Okay, all right. Maybe it's that's that right there, is it?
Yeah,
Okay. I haven't been seeing that consistently though.
I've been trying to do it consistently.
Yeah, up until like literally right now, my health wasn't really dropping, and neither was Al's. So did anything shift for you, Jordan?
No, maybe just more
Okay.
damage. I don't know.
Well, let's
Okay.
just remember to keep taking a look at that kind of stuff and like just
You didn't have the Durka shield on.
Earth Shield. Aha! Okay, there we go. Because I noticed there was a huge freaking spike in like the damage that I was taking. I have more like cooldowns I can be popping
Playing
and
my
rotating.
trap.
Okay.
That's cool. They don't have to be pulled that far from it.
No, dude, they don't. It's a really nice ability, and if you have a tank that's willing to do it, yeah. I'm sorry, Beth. Like, I'm sorry. there's
Yeah,
There's
at
a-
that point,
there's
she's
a whole lot
yeah,
in
too
that
many-
anime
20
that was just
episodes
like
of
I'm like,
Dragon Ball.
okay, this was not how I remembered it.
The
yeah.
pilot episode, super cringy. I'm just like, oh gosh, no.
Well, you saw the. I'm not. I have no defense. Yeah. I love you.
Yeah, it's not much.
there's
much
not really anything to defend there. Is pretty bad. All right, I'm gonna do this and then this and then this and then pop that. I have to stand right in the center here so I don't get blasted by AOE. Oh,
Hopefully we don't draw in the big boss.
oh, that'd be fun.
Dropping my binding shot.
All right, running out. All right, I'm gonna pull him over here next to Mr. Arella. All
Thank you
right, there
very
we
much.
go. You're
Shell
welcome, sir.
binding shot. Is that easier?
Yeah, it's not a trap. It's I
Unnecessarily
mean, I
yell.
guess it is kind of a trap, but not
It is,
really.
It's classified as a trap. That's the
It
thing.
is?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's new. I didn't know that.
Let me double check it because it places the same way as all my traps. So maybe I
Well,
just made the
right.
assumption
Well,
the
just
way I
because
placed
it works the same way doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's classified as such.
Yeah, 'cause my tar trap, I never really run
Just
that one.
just hey, just
It's
say that you're
kinda-
just say that you're dropping BS, bro.
Dropping BS.
That's so bad.
That was very bad.
That was-
Even for you.
Oh,
That was cheesy.
cheesy.
Jordan, did you get a chance to go up and vote then? Are you doing that tomorrow? Do you know what you guys are doing
That's
yet? 'Cause I've asked
literally
you
what
guys
I've
both
been.
like good answers.
Weren't you? Okay, so I said the reason I can't play as much today and reason I'm getting off probably at 9 is because me and Andrea are going up early morning. We're gonna be there before 6 to
6 is the
the
opening, right?
yeah, it's open.
6 to 6. Okay. And then do we know when the official count is? We talking midnight, 1 o'clock? Is that yeah, is there
Ooh,
even
what
an
just
official? Do we
happened?
know?
Why did that?
Finding shot.
I don't know. I don't know. Good question. There will probably be various recounts that will have to be taking place. To be completely honest.
Well, we'll see. Like my prayer
Yeah,
is
we'll
that
see.
it's
So it's
it's my prayer is it's a landslide.
landslide. I'm
Yeah.
praying for landslide. Yeah.
That's what I'm praying for
Yeah, I
personally.
remember last time I was so excited. I was like, wow, pretty strong lead. And all of a sudden you wake up like, what? 200,000 what? In like an hour? Where did that come from?
Yeah, it didn't make a
It's
lot
like,
of
how
sense.
did that happen?
But we're not going to go into all of that right now.
I stayed up the entire time for 2016, and then 2020. I think I went to bed. It was around 11ish. I didn't stay up for the entire thing. But yeah, the first one when I was up praying and praying, I was like, "Come on, dude, come on."
Well, there
I
were
was
some things.
fighting,
There were
couldn't
some
even
really,
at all.
really shifty things that happened in 2020, but whatever. Nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah, in 2016 and 2012 and 08 and 04.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
It's been shifty for a while.
yeah, I
You, sir,
agree with you.
Nightfall Executor, are going down.
Well, you know what? If Mister Ugly Bug decided to come in now, I think we'd be able to handle it.
I remember that one time we got very close. Didn't we get down to half?
I think so. Almost.
Yeah, it was
almost.
Let's just
yeah.
not try to jinx it.
Ah.
I'm not jinxing. I'm praying for it. I want to see him die. Not because I hate him.
We can go to
We
like
can do it,
tier
gentlemen.
tier
We can do it.
12 and actually fight him.
Yeah, we can.
Is that how
We have
that
to
works?
unlock it. Yeah, we have to unlock it.
Okay, I didn't realize that's how that worked. I thought it was just
Yep.
only by spawn chance.
Nope. No, he runs away.
Oh, my stomach. Oh, I'm getting a bad stomach ache, guys. Not gonna play tonight.
Hi.
Yeah, I just interrupted him. I got a new ability that I've been using is Typhoon. It blasts a target 15
Typhoon.
yards away.
Good, Anakin.
Okay, so did you do that, or did you just like somehow?
That was me.
Okay,
Yes,
why did you do that? Why did you do that, sir?
Because
You
Dobby
I'm
is
a
a bad
hunter.
elf, Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh.
You can't say that, Jordan. That's like me talking about gravity.
Wait, what?
What?
I fall
Oh.
sometimes too. The way you said that sounded like you did just fall off a cliff.
All right, now I
He's
get
like,
it. Now it's
"Oh,
funny.
no."
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good, man. It's pretty entertaining. 'Cause it's true.
If I was a character from The Office, which one would I be most relatable to? I know you've seen a lot of it. I don't know if
I've
you've
seen
all of it,
every
though.
episode. Yeah.
Okay.
You're kind of I don't know, man. Not Steve Carell.
No.
Closest, I would say,
Dwight?
closest is. I was seeing kind of a combination between Jim and Dwight, which was kind of the like that was why it
Combo.
felt kind of weird. Like I can't
Yeah,
just
that sounds weird.
like it's yeah.
That's like being Tom and Jerry. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Finding.
That's a good question. Okay, let me. Do my actions in video games like? Well, yes. I mean, even from an RNG standpoint, like the better you play. Like, so instance, we have 6 lives in here. Like, the more lives we have, like
Press and walk
if we end up losing them, etc., like we end up like not
I was
getting.
reading their questions.
We don't get nearly as
Thank
much
you.
actual gear and stuff like that at the end. So there is that aspect to it that I think is important to be able to see. If you don't treat the people that you're playing with well, you're not going to have people to play with. I mean, that's an important aspect as well. Like I am an individual that is, I mean, I'm not gonna say not. I'm not just honest, and I'm not too honest. I do speak to people in kind and in a loving way, but I'm not going to stroke your ego. So individuals who want that don't generally stay around me very long. Okay, and mind you, I don't want those types of people around me. I find those people as like overall to be quite dangerous in a lot of ways, because they are likely going to choose a selfish route versus actually caring for others. Like individuals who are ego driven are going to make decisions that are based in ego, which is inherently selfishness. So I think that's a very important aspect to consider. Yes, so the answer to your question is yes, it does. Like the way that you treat others, the way that you do anything, affects your ability to perform, affects your ability to go into higher end content, etc. I mean, it's all very very important.
I almost got
aspects.
bounced by that rail there. Oh, Alistair, I wanted to ask then, how is my damage looking?
I have
Because with this
not
build,
even
I am
looked.
able to.
And
Ow.
thank you.
Did I pull him? Was that me?
Yeah, you did. You did that.
Yeah, that was me.
Me or you? One or the other.
Yeah.
I'm
Myself.
not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preston the Huntard.
Jordan. Yeah.
It happened. Like it is what it
I
is.
really,
Now we deal
really
with
don't
it.
like the word retard though, bro. That's why I hate the whole Huntard thing.
Well, you're. Yeah. No. Okay. So
There's a better name
let's
for
change it.
it.
Well, yeah.
We can call it Preston, the guy who always gets the party in trouble. We can call it that.
Or I mean, there's a lot of different
Jordan
ways
can
we
be
can
Gravity
go with that.
Man.
Goodness.
I'm just gonna be Pole Man. Yeah. There we go.
I'm gonna leave it alone and just walk away from the conversation. How's that
If
sound?
anything else went into your head, that's you. That's just you.
What? Stop saying the R word. We're not calling each other
Retard.
those things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm explaining to him why I don't like the word Huntard.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
no, I'm
said
not trying to
Huntard.
sit there
No,
and
we're
call
not. We're
anybody
not
that.
calling anybody that.
No.
And yeah, so I do appreciate that, but no. Yeah, we don't go out of our ways to insult others. And I would suggest
We'll rag on each other as brothers, but like no, we're not gonna ever sit there and just.
well, and something,
discriminate
Dev,
against
that I
anybody or
would
anything like that.
suggest you do, like when coming into a channel, ask a question instead of making an assumption, please. Like you had no context for the conversation or what we were talking about. So I mean, of course, I could use the WT.
Really?
Oh my goodness, what is WT?
No idea.
Preston.
Yeah, watch out, watch out. We got all kinds of
I'm
swirlies
watching, I'm
coming
watching.
after
Thank
us.
you, sir. I can take a guess at WT, but I don't know.
What's your Discord? Let's chat. I'm not sure. Like if that's something I'm even interested in with you, bud. Like that's something we'll pray about in a minute here. And
Yeah.
if that's something like then we'll consider it, bud. All right. But before that, I'm gonna try and find out if you're able to even accept correction when I'm saying something. And if you're not able to do that, I don't think we can have a reasoned conversation. Yeah, that's the simple truth, buddy. Like first thing I heard from you, dude, is like, don't do this, you'll get reported. It's like, okay.
I thought I dodged that. Oof.
Oof, did not. That hurt.
No.
Hey, but you didn't fall off, dude. I mean, there's that.
Improvement.
I guess you could call it that.
Have you
Finding
heard of
shot. Do you suppose that
hymns?
does anything to this guy?
Nope, I don't think so. You're more than welcome to inform me who is hymns. Nah, dude, I highly doubt that would be possible. Ask your brother? Wait, what? All right, so, dude, Like you're asking me a question, okay? Then you are like asking me to ask somebody else to answer when I told you I don't know. Dude, how is that helpful to the overall conversation? What?
Can't see it, but I'm not sure exactly what's being said right now.
No, I don't understand the context or what's up, so that's okay. I mean, dude, if he's not willing to actually have a conversation, dude, that actually is in some way like kind and respectful or even intellectually honest, I'm not going to waste my time, man. Hims is for hair loss? Okay. How? What in the world, bro, are you talking
Now I
about?
see where he's just trying, bro. He's trying to trash.
Oh, okay. That's cool. All right. That's cool, man. Hey, so Lord Jesus, Father God, I come to you and I just
Answers the
lift up
question
this
about the
young man.
Discord, though.
And I thank you for this young man. I thank you for the opportunity I've been given to be kind to him. Like, hey, Jesus, just help this young man. I ask that you bless him in his life and that you enable him to kind of like guide him step by step into what is good. I mean, he's saying he's not trashing. All right, cool. But again, I'm not sensing like love in this, man. So, yeah. In Jesus' name, I just ask that you show him the path. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, bro, and Dev, that's not going to happen, man. Like, you have not in any way shown at this point. Like, I asked you a question earlier, all right? And, like, since then, like, yeah, so now you're going to taunt and mock. Okay, that's cool, dude. Remember, dude, here's a cool part, bro. Like, the way that you treat other people is not a reflection of the other person. It's a reflection of you. And regardless of what you do or don't do, that's your choice. Okay? Like, if you wanted to have a kind, like, reasoned discussion about something, man, you would have been more than welcome. But you've shown that that is not something you're interested in. Like, you're looking for attention. And again, that's cool. And that's fine too. You can put out the pride flag. That's all right, man. Like, I still believe that if people choose homosexuality, like, I still love them. I still treat them with kindness and respect. Just because I don't agree with their life choices doesn't mean I don't love them. So, I hope you have a good day, man. That's okay. Like, right, I am, based on the evidence and information I've already been given in the way that you interact in this live stream, dude. The assumption is evidentiary in this case. You have been combative and mocking and attempting to get a rise, which, yeah, dude, I got nothing against you, man. I don't know you very well. I would say at this point, by the way that you have kind of interacted here, I think you have something against me. Dude, you're human, right? Dad, are you human? Hmm. Okay. So I believe that we are all part of the human race. Okay. Period. Like, we all matter. And
We're
Jesus.
all made in the likeness and image of God.
Yep.
We all matter.
Yippers, yippers.
We all are worthy and deserve love.
Hmm. Well, thank you for your opinion, bro. I will.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from, Dev.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's
not once has there
just,
been
yeah, dude. Hey,
any sort of
Preston,
slurs or anything towards.
Preston. Like, he's just trying to get a rise, man. That's all. It's just a troll. Don't feed him. That's all, man. So, guys, what do you want to do next? I know like Mr. Bickham's, you were talking about like getting off right around this time.
I'm popping off. I would just want to look at if you can look at your daily boss mods, see how I did.
Oh, you mean my
And-
damage meters?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
and just overall how I did.
Let me take a look. Let me see. Let me go ahead and get the.
I'm kind of interested in how much actually acid rain does, and I actually tried mixing in
So
my other damages.
during that last
and-
fight,
Yeah, no, the last confrontation I didn't do much of anything besides acid rain.
yeah. So like I was looking at the last boss fight, and thank you, Preston. Was that what Jesus led you to do? Preston.
Did it actually work then?
Yeah. Yeah, you blocked him.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yep.
I didn't know if that was actually working or not. So it didn't
Yeah.
give me any notification showing it.
Yeah, it showed up, said
Oh.
moderator. Like, yeah. So I got a question for you. Was that what Jesus asked you to do? I want to make sure.
I did not pray about it before I did it.
Yeah. So, dude, don't do that.
Yeah. No, you're
No,
right.
you don't have
right.
you know we're not going to do that. Like that's not okay. Like this is an individual that's very, very angry, that is looking for attention, and you got offended. And that's your insecurity. Like this is a place that is designed for, if they want to come in here and they want to bash me and they want to say mean and nasty things to me, like the only time I'm asked to do anything about it is if Jesus specifically asked me to, and I wasn't asked to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
I wasn't sure if you weren't able to or something.
No, I
Just,
could
yeah,
at any
I
point,
should've
dude. It's
prayed
right there on the
kick me
screen. I
captive,
could
did
have,
not.
I could have
I
easily
just
blocked
didn't
the
see
guy.
the conversation as being
But-
very loving or kind. He wasn't really.
No, he
helping
wasn't, but
you
I
or anybody,
was.
You know. Yeah, I just.
That's an
I don't know.
example, dude.
I didn't really see where it was going.
And dude, it would take him all of like, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though, dude. Like, just because he was being like cruel doesn't mean I'm gonna treat him that way, man. I don't have to agree with
I know.
him.
I didn't think that you were treating him.
Well,
cruel
dude,
either.
here's the thing, though, dude. Like, trolls are one of the greatest things for engagement.
Hmm.
Like, Preston, don't do that again, man. All right, please.
Yeah, I just thought
No,
you
you-
said before if they're disrespectful, they'll be gone. So that's why.
Yes,
yeah.
that is what I said, but that means that you need to pray first. Like, there's also
Yeah,
the thing
I
about
know.
giving
That's,
grace. And now here's the thing, Jesus, like, was it a good thing that Preston like blocked the guy? I'm hearing yes. Yeah, it had gone far enough. Okay.
My sense was, yeah, it wasn't that I did wrong, but just blocked. But the part where I did wrong was by not testing it first. Actually,
Yeah.
Jesus
Well,
hates
you
his
could
best.
you
That
could do
was-
better, dude. It was out of a desire to
Yeah.
protect and to keep us, to keep each other safe, etc. Like I do appreciate that, dude. I'm not saying what you did was wrong, but I'm saying you could do
Could
better.
be better.
Yeah, it could be better,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Boosting vibes. We are asked to treat others like we want to be treated. Would that go Al or robots? What? Or AI or robots? What? Could you clarify the question, sir, so I might better understand it? I think the more AI develops, I think we definitely want to instill that into anything that we create that even mimics consciousness. I think everything needs to be treated with some sort of dignity and respect, whether it is plant life, animal life, or alien life. I think everything deserves a level of respect. Now, I'm not saying don't eat meat or anything like that. I think they were placed here for the part of that is part of their purpose for being here, but also it's to respect the sanctity of life. I'm a definite believer and proprietor of protecting life, kind of, period. I believe in the sanctity of it. And the reason why, because I'm being asked to go ahead and share the why behind that. Why do I believe protecting life is inherently a good idea? Because without those protections, we wouldn't be here. Without individuals willing to stand, in the gap for others, for individuals who have been marginalized, individuals who have been beaten down in some way, shape, and form, we don't have any kind of working system of governance, of civilization. If there's not reasoned thought processes, if we're just gonna beat beat people down because we don't like something that they're saying or something we believe that they stand for. Yeah, like for instance, let's take example the young man we just had in here by the name of Dev. He was accusing me of things I don't do. You have life choices, okay? Like, I don't think black people are greater than white people. I believe in equal rights for every single human being. Equal rights. I don't mean that every single one of us is going to be the same, but I believe the right to life is the same for every single one of us. If you make a choice in your like identity or sexual preference, like that is your choice. Just please don't force that onto me to believe the same thing you believe. I'm not doing that to you. Like, I believe in the principles taught by Jesus Christ. That's who I follow. I don't follow the quote unquote Christian religion. Am I religious? Sure. I mean, like from your perspective, certainly. That's definitely something what a lot of people would say, but I'm interested in the teachings of Jesus Christ and actively applying those things. I've also listened to Confucianism and Taoism and Shinto and Hinduism and Buddhism. I've looked at multiple religions across the world in the search for truth. And the only God that actually showed up, like really showed up in a real and powerful way, was Yeshua, was Yahweh Yeshua, the Christ. That's who stepped into my life and, man, like really healed stuff. That's what happened for me. So I believe he can do that for anybody. I was a mess, man. Like before Jesus, like an absolute like train wreck. But no, dude, I'm not going to sit here and condemn people because they choose to do something that I believe is wrong. And if you want to know why I believe it's wrong, I can answer that question too. Like, does it give life? Does it support life? Does it, like, yeah. Is it something that is that follows the basic understanding of good and evil? I don't believe it does. If you're sitting here and trying to marginalize anyone, and what I mean by that, if you are like beating down any specific like group and telling everybody else and trying to turn like to be hateful towards another, then what you're doing is wrong. Yeah, dude, I've dealt with a lot worse than that, man. Like, I've had people screaming at me and stuff like that, and I'm just asked to love them, man. I've had people like literally try to physically hurt me, and I've had to defend myself. So that's a keyboard warrior, bro. Like, I mean, worst he can do is curse at me, and it ain't gonna hurt me. All he's gonna do is end up hurting himself in the end. I hope I prayed for him. Like, I hope that like Jesus shows up and that like he started to understand that treating people like that only ends up it doesn't help him or anybody else. I really hope he comes to understand that. That's my prayer for him, man. But again, like boundaries are important, and we gave the warning that if you choose to be disrespectful and stuff like that, then like you can either leave or we can remove you. And Preston did make a judgment call there. I didn't agree with how he made the judgment, but yeah, it was still the right call. Like, and I agree with that. Just one of the things that we really stress here at Core Ministries at PrayToPlay is discernment, is doing life together with Jesus. Like we get this from Proverbs. I mean, Proverbs 2, chapter 2, 3, and 4 make it really, really clear the benefits of wisdom. And wisdom only comes through humility, through the fear of the Lord, through literally like going to God and asking him the questions, listening to what he has to say and testing it. Like wisdom's known by its results. A tree is known by its fruit. Like, you know, that's the concepts and the principles that we base our decisions off of, at least to the best of our ability. I'm not going to say all of us does it all the time perfectly, because we don't. You know, we are human, and we are doing our best to learn and to grow and to love every day. I know I found in my own experience, it's a whole lot easier to do that with Jesus than without him. That's been my experience. And I think Something that is very dishonest is when you come in here and you make assumptions and you demand things of people, then insult them when they don't give it to you, with no basis or understanding of who they are or why they're here. It's extraordinarily rude, and it's wrong. I'm not going to do that to him. I don't want that done to me. He wouldn't want me to do that to him. I don't think. Maybe he does. I'm still not going to do it. Like he said, I made an assumption. I said, no, it wasn't an assumption. It was a reasoned, like, kind of thought process. It was a conclusion. I didn't assume something. When you assume something, you're basing conclusions without evidence. All right, that's an assumption. So you've created, let's say, this belief. All right, that all Christians, all individuals who follow Jesus Christ are bigoted. Like that's a belief that you have. Okay, well, what's the evidence? All right, is what I would say. So to take that out of an opinion, out of an assumption, and turn that into a reasoned conclusion, you have to apply like logic to it. Okay, so if you meet a Christian that doesn't do that, it would say that your basis of understanding there is incorrect. So you have to then go back and rethink that. This individual wasn't willing to do that. Okay. So that tells me I'm not able to have a reasoned discussion with him. He's not willing to think. The individual was just basing everything he was doing on emotional, what's the word I want to use here? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what a good word to use there. The assumptions and like his thought processes were just based on what he feels. It was very subjective on what he thinks and what he feels in that moment. At least that's the evidence that I'm seeing, okay? And I could be wrong. I think that's the cool part about all of this. I'm not interested in, like, having to prove that I'm right. I'm just trying to do my best to understand stuff. Find out what is right. Yeah. It's fun. At least I think it's fun. But yeah, Mr. Boosting Vibes, like, that is likely to be a common occurrence from time to time. But when I see that kind of stuff, and people choose to treat me that way, as long as I'm not doing the same to them, I know that it's okay. Like being able to forgive people for choosing to behave that way is incredibly powerful. Accept them where they are, but it doesn't mean that I have to be your doormat. And I think that's really important for everybody to recognize that you're not here to be somebody's doormat. That's not what Jesus Christ calls us to. That's not what he means by turn the other cheek. Okay, it means do not behave towards them the same way they are behaving towards you. Turn the other cheek. In other words, love them, turn away from evil, and love them. It's another picture of repentance. What would Jesus do? Yeah. Does that make sense, guys? Preston, you still there, sir?
I'm here. Did we lose Jordan?
Yeah, dude. Remember he said he was going to go to bed early?
Okay, he just didn't say bye or nothing. Just kind of left.
Ah, yeah.
So I didn't know.
I mean, we were kind of in the middle of that whole interesting situation there.
All right, dude, I'll be hopping off.
What the deuce?
What?
Well,
I was
then.
just asking if he got off, and I was like, "Yeah, he didn't say bye or nothing. He just left." And
then boom,
and
you
you come
like
back
speak up all of a sudden.
seconds
It's
later.
like, wait, what? What just happened?
Yeah, just as I was saying that, I got bumped to AFK chat. Had to come back and
okay.
reconnect.
Yeah.
Alright, I love y'all. I'll
Love
see
you,
you
buddy.
tomorrow.
Yep. We got
Sorry,
what,
bud.
half
Thanks
an
for getting
hour
with
left,
us.
guys, on the live stream. Yeah, I think so.
Sure. Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, what do we want to do? What do we want to talk about for the next half an hour? I mean, I'm just gonna fly around mostly and just like kind of farm. I mean, we can
That's
go
pretty
into
much
war
what I'm at the
mode and stuff like that, and kind of add a little bit of extra spice to it. Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? World PvP.
What's the difference?
Greater
People
rewards
can
for
just attack
mining.
us.
Yeah, greater rewards from mining.
Really?
Greater reward. Yeah, you get more rewards from
I did
mining.
not know that.
Yep, you get increased drop rates from treasure chests, etc. That's why I tend to farm in
No,
war
I
mode.
did not know that. I
Yep.
thought you just did it because just for the added challenge of people fighting you.
No,
I did not
there's a
know
lot
that.
of extra stuff that you get from playing in war mode.
Cool, dude.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what. But you have to
How
go
do
back to
I-
Dornegal, and then you open up your
Yeah,
talents.
cool.
I'll walk you through it once we get there. So let's go back to Dornegal. I'm gonna fly, I think, or I can always hearth, but I'm just gonna fly there. Why not? It's fun. We got time. Aye. So hey, Mr. Preston, what did you learn tonight, buddy?
A lot tonight. Biggest thing with that whole situation, I would say I kept getting hit with this like fear. Am I doing something wrong by not letting this guy? Like he's still here, and I'm like, maybe Al can't do it right now. He's busy or something, you know. And I was like,
Oh no, I
And
had the
I
power
did
to.
pray, and I was like, Jesus, is this wasting our time? Is this wasting the guy's own time? Like, is this good? I did ask that, but I didn't ask if I needed to actually kick him. That was the part where I just made the on my own call, and I know that's
Seriously.
definitely unwise, but I
Yeah,
can
life
learn from it. I
happens,
can't
man.
take it back, but I can learn from it.
Yep, life happens, dude. Well, and here's the thing, man. Like, I think in a really important aspect, I think the greatest, I think, test of character is not how you treat people that like don't really add value to your life, but individuals who are actively aggressive towards you and try to harm you in some way. How you treat your enemies is a much greater, I think, test of character than how you treat your friends. I do believe that both are important, right? They tell different parts and different aspects of your personality, but I think the most telling part is how do you treat your enemies? How do you treat the people who actively try to harm you? That's really, really important, man. All right, I just turned war mode on. I'll wait for you, sir. I need to. Looks like I gotta turn something in. Thank you for the storm charged leather, sir.
I
And the
think I
writing
got something else for
samples.
you too.
That's what I
Let's
got
see
here.
here.
Treasure Seekers binding.
Yeah, I got 2 more storm charge. Or excuse me, I got 2 bottled storms actually. Those for you or Jordan. I know one
I
of you
don't
uses
know.
those.
I know I do in some of them, but there are very few
Okay.
times I actually use them in any of my crafting material.
Okay.
At least at this point, I think there may be a consumable that I can use those on that I haven't been. But you know, it is what it is. Oh, I got something
Nothing too
here.
major.
What's this? Percussive archaeology. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, hey,
I just
a
got a
pinnacle
thing that gave me
catch.
+3
Cool.
+3 knowledge for mining, so that was pretty sweet. I usually get the +1s. I don't think I've had a +3 in a while.
Hey, got another coffer key. Thank you, Jesus.
Not
Got
sure how
back up
many
to
I have at this
17
point.
and got like 1,600 gold out of that. That's
I
nice.
did get a Delver's bounty. There wasn't really a good time to bring that up earlier.
Okay, well that's cool. I mean, we'll be able to do that again.
Yeah, for sure.
This is definitely not the last
And
day
I
that
did
we're
get
gonna
some
play.
alternates. Oh, for sure.
All right, so what you
We're
do
not-
is go into talents and spellbook.
Who just joined?
Hello, hello.
Mr. Kadino.
Yep.
What's up, dude?
So I'll let you finish talking, Alistair, then I have some updates for you guys.
Okay. Well, no, dude, go ahead, man. Oh, well, right.
There it
I
is,
need
war
to.
mode.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
it. Found it. Clicked it. You have to choose PvP talents too.
Increasing quest. Yeah, I've had those since the first time we played it. I just never really messed with them since.
Okay. All right.
Increasing
Alright,
quest rewards
so-
and experience by
Yeah,
choosing
Caden, go ahead.
So what this goes back to is actually Trey. Don't worry, he is fully cut out of my life. I have nothing to do with him. You know how we were praying for and basically him to turn to Jesus, and if not, like he's gonna either go to jail or end up killing himself. Well, Isaiah sent me or showed me a
Hey,
video.
so Caden, I'm gonna say something, dude. Like, be careful with that.
Yeah?
Some of that wording, man. All right. Like our.
We are on a live,
Oh
buddy.
shoot! I forgot we're on the live.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, my bad.
Like we.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
off, I haven't prayed that anybody like off themselves. I want to make that really freaking clear.
He'll end up
But-
hurting himself, I should say.
Yeah, we pray that he get the results of his decisions, dude. All right.
Yeah,
Let's make things super clear. All right. Like that's I think something that's super important. And if this isn't something that we can talk about on the live stream, then we wait until after. Okay.
We can talk about it.
All right.
All he has is bruises.
What?
All he has is bruises. Goodness gracious.
So anyway, a few days ago, Isaiah is still friends with him.
Okay.
And so he showed me a video. Trey went out, got a really fancy Mustang. Mind you, he doesn't have a license. He has suspended license. He doesn't have insurance or anything for it. No plate. He tuned it, pro-charged it, and the engine blew up in flames. But he put it out, whatever. And today, me and Isaiah were driving on the way to vote. He gets a call. He's like, Caden, I gotta go back home. I need my car. I gotta go get Trey. So Trey turned out the subdivision he lives in. It was raining here today. He guns it down the road. He flies off into an electric pole.
Oof.
All he had was bruises. But again, he doesn't have a license. He's a habitual driver. And yeah, just a lot of, so he's getting the consequences, or he's reaping what he sows.
Yeah.
Yeah. He put like 500 people out of power and stuff.
Holy guac.
Wow.
So
a lot of people
I just want to,
affected.
I kind of
Okay.
just want to rant a little bit, just to let you guys know what's going on. Also,
Okay.
there was 2 different people reaching out, telling me like, which I've already discerned, this is not my place to do. I'm not letting him back in my life. But I have 2 people reach out, like, asking me to save it. And I'm just like, dude, there's nothing I can do if you won't accept Jesus. But
right, dude.
yeah, I just want to let you guys update you a little bit.
Well,
Just
dude.
because even though he's not my friend, he's still someone I care a lot about.
Oh, dude, and I'm grateful for that, man. Thank you. And something, guys, I want to go ahead and put out there, justice is an important aspect of righteousness. It's an important aspect of any system in this world that is actually going to function well is a criminal justice system. And it is good to hear when an individual who has had a long-standing habit of breaking laws, of treating other people with some of the highest levels of disrespect, receiving the results of their decisions. And I want to make something super clear. I don't want people to get hurt, man. But I also realize that, in my own situation, I had to get hurt in order to freaking wake up. I did some stupid stuff when I was younger, man. And if I hadn't received the results of my decisions, I don't think I would be here. I wouldn't be the man that I am today if, God hadn't freaking, laid the smackdown on me. Remember, guys, God disciplines the child in whom he delights. As a good father disciplines a child, he also disciplines us. And that's whether, we are, living for him or not. If we ever want to come to an actual understanding and value good and evil, there has to be consequences when we choose evil, either here or in the hereafter. That's the belief that I hold to. And I've seen what lawlessness does, and it's not pretty. Ever. Yeah. So, oh, hi, Mr. Dylan Harris. It's good to see you again, sir. So, yeah, dude, Caden, thank you.
Yeah, of course, you guys are my friends, also my church and support system. So I feel like when there's something big, I should always let you guys know.
Well, dude, I appreciate it, man. And I'm super glad that, you are continuing to deal with stuff and process stuff. And even when there has been those disagreements and there's been those times where this individual has treated you badly, you still care for him, you still want what's good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing, dude. Doesn't mean you we've said this before, and I'll say this again, boundaries are there to protect you. All right. They're not there to modify somebody else's behavior. All right. It's not about creating a bunch of rules. It's about saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do if you do this. And holding to it, loving yourself enough that you're going to hold to those boundaries. It's like earlier, I don't know if you were watching the live earlier, we had an individual come in who was just mean, like just wanted to fight.
Oh, I missed it.
You weren't there. Yeah, like he just wanted to fight, man. And it's like, nah, dude, like I'm not gonna sit here and just like, what's the word I want to use? Like, dude called me a chicken and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, bro, you've already shown you're not able to have a reasoned discussion, man. You just want to emote and you want attention. Like,
Well, that happened, sadly.
oh, dude, it's gonna happen. I'm okay with it. Like it, just like yeah. When it comes to trolls, it's like thank you for the engagement, man. Like, that's the algorithm picks up on that, and it's okay. Like, yeah. So I'm in Hollowfall, by the way, Preston. If you haven't figured that out, if you're still okay, you're in the Forge Grounds. I'm not sure where that's at off the top of my head. Let me take a look at the map here.
Forge Grounds.
It says you're in the Forge Grounds. Are you still in Dornegal, dude?
Yeah. No, I'm just sitting here going around doing my
Jewel crafting
I got
stuff.
that thing I was telling you about. I got like plus 10 dual crafting. Then I
Okay.
was just adding points, and then I was also looking at. I have a quest here that says it's completed, but I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah, I'm farming in
that's
in
right. That was one of
Hollowfall.
the weeklies. You had to complete 3 delves. I had forgotten about that one.
Okay.
Let's see what that rewards. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's tomorrow already. Reset.
Yeah, dude.
What is?
Reset for World of Warcraft.
Weekly resets on Tuesdays. So like you have new weekly quests, new rewards, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
I got a pinnacle cache and 10 tokens. So let us see. Jesus, what is inside? Yeah, definitely some fun toys. There we go. Got
There
another
you
key.
are, sir.
Thank you, Jesus.
We're still
Alright,
praying for some
so
more trinkets. There's so much better trinkets, dude.
I did get some pauldrons that were 603. There were 3 less, but my 606 item is a
Is it maxed?
maxed. So I was
Yeah,
like, this is
there you
only
go.
3 out of 8. I'm like, oh, dude, awesome. This has more potential.
There you go, man. There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
every little bit helps, bro.
Oh, by far. Okay, so you are. Where did you say?
I'm in
Hollowfall.
Hollowfall, dude. I'm just flying around, like just picking up chests. That's what I'm doing. I haven't been attacked yet, which is great.
Yeah. Now, can I not? Is like Dorngal a? What do you call them? Like you can't fight. What do they call those zones?
It's a
There's, like, an
non-PvP
immune
zone.
area or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, it's a non-PvP zone.
Okay.
But Hollowfall
Wasn't
is
sure there's another word for it.
a big it's a PvP zone when you're in war mode. If not, then then it's
Even
not
in the
even a
city?
thing. No, I just said no.
Like the main chunk there.
I just said no, sir.
We said Hollowfall, so that's why I meant Hollowfall. That city.
Oh no, the
whatever
whole
it's called
area
there.
there is like I think there may be guards. I'm not sure. I haven't really. Yeah, I haven't actually checked. But I
So
thought you
wherever
meant
there's
Dornegal.
guards, that's the giveaway for
Sometimes.
combat being allowed or not
I mean,
allowed.
not necessarily. I mean, I got murked the other day, dude. Just like I was chilling out, and a retribution paladin decided to make me lunch. Like he
Made himself a
friggin'
bucket
just
sandwich.
stunned me, dude, and took me out before I could do anything.
Yeah, real quick. Sorry, I gotta go. I'm about to leave.
All right, man.
But
Hey,
tomorrow
Caden.
I have.
Hey, how's Hannah doing?
That's a great question. Everything I've talked to her about, she seems to be doing fine. But how's she actually doing? Is a much better question.
Well, I mean,
She's worrying me a little bit.
she's what? What?
I said worrying me a little bit.
Okay. Well, how
Just
are?
kidding.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's your last I checked, that's your girlfriend, dude. So,
Yeah.
like having those conversations is super helpful, usually. And sometimes, dude, like with a woman, remember, just sometimes all they need you to do is listen. You don't need to try and fix it.
Yeah.
And I know that's hard,
Yeah.
but sometimes women don't want you to fix it. Sometimes they just want you to listen.
Yeah. I just want her. Basically, all I want is just her fully turn to Jesus. And
Well,
I know she's not quite
but
ready for that.
like, well, bro, you set the example. It's not your job to like control or fix her. And remember, it's your job to do the
Yeah.
best you possibly can, and create your own boundaries that keep you where you need to be. So that's all, man.
Yeah.
And it's a learning experience. That's any relationship you enter into, whether romantic or otherwise. So, all right, man. Hey,
And also,
yeah, go ahead.
my mom and my grandma, they both met Hannah, talked to her, and they both have a bad sense.
Well, you know
I
what,
don't really
dude.
understand. Well, I know they're not trained in sensing,
Yeah, I
so they could be their
just
emotions could be.
like bro, just, jeez, what do I need to say there? Anything you hear like that when it comes to them, anything that they see as a threat, all right, to their ability to influence you is that's what they're gonna like pick up on. Okay, dude. That's my
Yeah,
understanding of it.
I just want to make sure.
Well, my sense is you already knew that, dude.
I actually, yeah, that's what I told my mom too.
Like,
I told her grandma and her are untrained in sensing. Like they've never been actually went to Jesus and asked for help and stuff. So they could be sensing their own energy, could be sensing tons of things.
yup. And just, okay, what is Jesus saying to you, dude? That's what I'm gonna ask you.
When I asked, Hannah is someone that is, well, I guess it's still my choice, but is needed to be in my life or is asked to be in my life as of now.
Okay.
She has her stuff to work through, but so do all of we.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and does she genuinely care for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you genuinely care for her?
Of course.
Okay. Then just keep taking it step by step. Keep asking the questions. Like, that's, I think, the best thing you can do, dude. Like,
Okay.
so boosting vibes, like what kind of PC you would need to run World of Warcraft? I mean, it doesn't have to be like NASA level computer or anything. Like the computer that I have, I've been blessed with, but it's way more than what most people would need to be able to run this. You can spend, actually, you know what, dude? This is what I'm going to suggest you do. Like type into Google, all right, like benchmark for World of Warcraft. All right, what is the benchmarks? You know, what is minimum requirements? What is recommended? All right, and then kind of look at what your price range is and look at something from that perspective. All right, is the suggestion I would make. If you are like me and you're going to be doing way more than just World of Warcraft, like you want to play, like for instance, I play Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate and some of the other like games that have some like absolutely amazing graphics. And you want to play it at like, you know, Ultra HD or even like, you know, really, you want it really, really fast and you want a really crisp, like beautiful picture, you're going to spend more, right? A GPU is, I think, bar none, the most expensive part of any computer build. But remember this, okay? Going a little bit cheaper, but making sure you have a really good motherboard if you're doing like a tower build is usually a great way to go, because your motherboard is going to let you know what kind of potential is available. Okay. So if you want high-end processing and stuff like that, I would suggest at this point going with AMD Ryzen over Intel. And let me tell you why. It's not that like one is able to process really a whole lot faster than the other. It's just right now Intel has been having issues with some of their processors. And this is a known issue. Okay, that they're actually, some of the cores are not firing properly and they're burning out the cores. Okay, that was something that Intel was having a problem with. I don't know if it still is, but that was something that, like when I was looking at benchmarks and I was testing, you know, whether to go high end Intel or a high end AMD, I chose Ryzen, because of that. Like Intel was having issues with that, and it was a known issue. So. When it comes to graphical processors, I go NVIDIA GeForce. I'm rocking 4700 with an AMD Ryzen 9 7000 series is what I'm rocking in my laptop. It's an Asus Tough Gaming A15. But again, don't spend that kind of money, dude, unless you're doing other things. All right. So I do graphical design and stuff like that as well. So
What is it that Jordan got, Al? What is it Jordan has set up?
So he has,
Because you're saying that's like a perfect starter.
yeah, it's a really good starter. It's got a good motherboard. He can upgrade the GPU. He can upgrade RAM. So making sure that you're rocking good RAM, which is basically, think of it as your short-term memory, okay, in a brain basically. It enables you to recall things that you just basically just had on your screen, etc. It allows you to multitask more smoothly. Processor, think of that as like how fast you process information or enable to access information via the hard drive. Okay. No. I'm just going to say that. No. That is, if you were to play World of Warcraft on that, you are going into a lesson for frustration. You may be able to get it to run, all right, maybe, on the lowest settings possible. Maybe. But if it doesn't have a standalone GPU, if it's integrated graphics, you are going to just give yourself a headache. Speaking from experience.
Is that like really old? I'm not familiar with all the computer names and stuff.
Okay, so an Intel i3 is a specific type of processor. It's usually i3s are usually dual core or 4-core processors, with usually a maximum like hertz of like maybe 1.6, 1.8. You may be able to overclock it higher than that, but you're likely going to burn it out if you do that.
Okay.
So
it's like with mine, it's an i5. Is that meh or is that great? Like, what is that?
So that i5 is starting to kind of move into the like higher echelon. It's kind of like a mid-level.
Okay.
Right? Like, but a lot of it has to do with like what is the hertz that it's running at. So that's how much energy can go through that processor at any given moment to process information. All right, that's why the hertz is so important. So if you think of it like electrical towers, okay? So the more electrical towers you have, the more energy you can like pour out into those different systems. Okay? That's why like having a good processor is more important to begin with, having a good processor and a good motherboard. So if you think of the electrical towers, all right, as those areas that you need for points to be able to send and receive information, electricity, and you think of the power lines as like the motherboard or the ability to interconnect the different systems together, the better lines that you have, the less signal loss that you have from one point to another, the faster you are able to process. That's why I would suggest a SD, like solid state drive, instead of a hard disk drive. The reason why solid state has a much higher processing capability, it's able to access information far faster because of the technology it's using. It's light-based versus magnetic-based, okay? So a HDD is a mechanical drive, all right, that basically is reading scores on a magnetic disk to access certain information in the form of a base programming language, 01100101, which is basic. Okay. So that makes sense? I hope. If not, I'm sorry. This is actually what I went to school for, was information technology, computer science, and then I went into investigation, and yeah, kind of tailored that into becoming an investigative analyst. And now I'm a pastor. So yeah, God works in mysterious ways. And basically, I just love to learn, and I love people. So, and I like sharing the things that I learn and talking to people and figuring stuff out. Puzzles are grand. And I tell you what, the human soul, probably the best puzzle there is. So, did I give you too much information there, Mr. Boost and Vibes? Is that too much? If you want to, dude, I can talk to you more about it later, and kind of give you some better ideas or whatnot. You just message me on Discord or WhatsApp, dude. I'd be more than happy to help you out as I can. You can also talk to Mr. Bickham's. All right. He's done quite a bit of research when he was getting his first build for his PC. He went to from a Intel i5 laptop to kind of a build from, I think he got it from, what was that? What's that big box store nowadays that is so flippin' popular in the States? Kind
Costco.
of
Oh my gosh, I'm
Costco.
muted.
There
I
we
said it
go.
like 3 times. I'm like, ow.
I'm like,
I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, I know I'm talking. I'm not just thinking this. Yeah.
yeah, under the sea. I'm good. So, is that helpful? Hope it helped.
Yeah. If you are interested, I think Jordan would be a good.
He'd be
also
he'd be
help you
somebody
find
who would be good to kind of help you figure
'Cause
stuff
I
out.
want to say we went to Costco about maybe a month and a half, 2 months later, and they had it on sale, like another $50 off of what he already paid.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a monitor?
Because yeah, that's the other thing is you need a good monitor is really important. There are some TVs that you can use, right? But you have to make sure that if you are going with a TV to a PC setup, that the TV has a decent refresh rate. All right, that's really, really important. Because if not, you're going to get input lag, which in any kind of high-end like MOBA or first-person shooter can make a huge difference, believe it or not. Like when I'm playing a first-person shooter or I'm playing a MOBA, I don't use my TV. Like now when I'm playing World of Warcraft, I use my TV. But if I'm doing like when I was doing Fortnite or some of the other stuff I was doing that like input lag was a thing, I was doing some kind of like player versus player. I did just do directly to the monitor that I have on the laptop, which is a 144 adaptive sync. It's FHD, so it does make a difference, man. Like. They throw them away at work. What do they? What?
What?
You lost me
Monitors?
with that one. The monitors.
If that's
Like,
the case, I think
what-
I know where you can find one.
Yeah. What kind of monitors are we talking about? Oh, TV monitors.
Yeah, that too.
Like what kind of monitors are we talking about? Like, yeah. I mean, a lot of it. Like there are gaming monitors. There are your basic, like the monitors you'd see in say an office setting. Yeah. So computer monitors, dude, is like a kind of a general like way of wording it. There's many different types. Just like there are many different types of flowers that have different purposes and different ways that you can apply like certain aspects to. Oh, Mr. Hans has returned. Nice to see you, sir. It's good to see you got where you're going, man.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
not
no,
just
yeah,
that,
yeah.
we should Star
Adele,
Wars.
like, Adele, like, basic monitor. Okay, World of Warcraft, sure. All right, you're not likely to like the graphical processing and stuff like that is nice, dude. Hey. So yeah, the graphical processing isn't going to be nearly as like in your face, raw. I have to have this.
Like
But
COD,
I-
what do you think?
well, dude, I would say any FPS. I mean, even Fortnite, input lag is a thing. Like the time it takes for the information to be processed through your GPU and go to your monitor, like so that you're actually seeing what's happening, like the refresh rate is a really big deal there. You can have a beast of a computer, but if your monitor isn't able to refresh fast enough to keep up with it, you're crippling yourself in a high-end kind of FPS or MOBA environment. And the same thing happens in like League of Legends and and things of the like. It's just you can
Oh,
have
that's on mobile, right?
League of Legends
Do
is
they
not
have that?
mobile.
Oh no, they have.
Well, they do have.
That's
They
right,
have a
they
version of
different
it.
one.
Yeah, they have Wild Rift, which is a League of Legends. Like it is League of
Like a
Legends. It's
spin-off or
Riot.
something.
Well, no, it's not a spinoff. It's League of Legends. It's just
Okay.
designed for mobile. And then you have Mobile Legends, which is kind of an Asian spin, which is really popular here where I'm at. So,
Huh.
yeah. Imagine that, live in Asia, can I say?
The Asian version's more popular.
Yeah, right. Though League of Legends is an Asian game, by the way. It's just more popular in the West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. I think Riot is an I'm not sure if it's American based or not. I'd have to actually double check that. I think it's actually owned by Tencent, which is Chinese.
Okay.
I'd have to look at who the majority shareholder is nowadays.
And that can change in a week.
Yes, it can. But I think Tencent is the one who owns most of the kind of online Chinese like mega games. Is mostly owned primarily by Tencent. And they have they have their fingers in a lot of different pies.
Pie.
I like pie. Pie is good, man.
Sounds good. I haven't had a piece of pie, dude.
Dude, I had one
I don't know
yesterday.
how
Dude,
many-
my wife, man. Oh my
Yeah?
goodness, dude. Her baking skills. Wow.
Same.
We're actually getting orders for her pizza now.
No.
I'm serious, man.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like she listened, she learned, like she put the things into practice that we'd learned and we discovered and stuff through kind of trial and error, and people love it. I mean, the pizza that you buy here is mostly crap, and the stuff that my wife makes is fantastic, and it's cheaper because we're using actual materials. And you don't get sick
When you're not
eating
trying
it.
to make a crazy profit either.
Right. Well, I don't. Yeah, personally, I don't particularly care. As long as we're making some profit, I'm happy. And as long as my wife is
Don't
enjoying
want to shoot
herself.
yourself in the foot.
Well, right. I want my wife to enjoy herself. If she's gonna do something, she's gonna do a side business or something like that out of the home. Then I'm cool with that. I just want her to enjoy herself. If she's not, then
Yeah.
we need to find out. We need to do something different. It's not
Or
about.
sit there and stress herself out and
Nah,
do something
dude.
that she hates.
No, I'm not gonna ask her to do that. Like I didn't ask
Well,
her
dude,
to
it's
do
like-
this to begin with. This is something she wanted to do.
Exactly. Just one day I woke up, was it Thursday or Friday, just biscuits and gravy? Homemade biscuits? Like growing up, man, it was always the Pillsbury stuff in a can.
Right.
That's all we ever had for biscuits. We
Well, dude, all my
never
wife,
did anything
dude, all
homemade.
my wife does is the
Didn't
homemade
exist.
stuff, man. Like we've been getting.
That's see, no, I've been freaking spoiled with that.
Dude,
What I grew
amen,
up with.
man.
Hamburger helper, bro.
Yup. Lunchables, yeah. Like you mean
Yeah,
plastic inside of
yeah.
plastic, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The best part of it was the Crunch Bar.
Yeah, the candy.
Yeah.
No, if you got the nachos, I did like their salsa. I'm sure it's faker and all get out, but I did like their
I don't
salsa
know, dude. I
as a
do
kid.
not know the formulation. I have not looked that up. I'm sure I could find it, but whatever.
This isn't a
point
tomato,
is-
35% plastic.
Right. It's not really a tomato. It's just it's colored to look like tomato and then added some flavoring, but it's not real
Tomato with
flavoring.
a red
It's
40.
yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we just completely like dumped on the entire like
Poor lunch.
School lunch, yeah, the school lunch,
Trying,
like,
bro.
no, they're not trying. That's the problem. They're
They're
not
just like,
trying.
he's right. There's like I can't just keep up with this lie anymore.
I mean, I'm like super stoked to see what's going on with like the cereals right
A
now.
lot of these
Like
null silvers.
people are
Yes,
like
anything new?
I haven't heard anything more yet. I haven't been like super keeping up with it. I'm sure now that I'm saying something, like the TikTok algorithm will start like bringing me
Yeah.
more news on it. But then it's always really
I'm just
important to
excited to see what
fact check
happens
it.
for this
Like,
Wednesday.
well, something too, man.
I get
like,
that.
Like just to
Especially on,
remember,
like, this-
dude, like we need to make sure we're fact checking these things. We need to make sure like we are actively like seeking like, okay, is this like fake news? Is this real? Like why is this being said? Who is saying it? Like why
Yeah.
are they saying it?
I can't prove Lunchables is 35% plastic. That was just a
No,
joke.
no,
That's
that was a
fine.
joke. Like we're yeah, like but no, like seriously, it's one of those things, guys, like
Holy cow, it's a huge bear.
the word I'm gonna use is like do your due
I don't want you to
diligence.
see this.
What? All right, I'll be right there, sir.
He's a big one.
I think I
Strength
know.
of Belladar.
Yeah, I've taken him out a few times.
He's a big one.
Yeah, pretty teddy bear. He's a teddy bear.
Oh, his
Um,
health is nothing.
Yeah, no, dude,
Oh.
he gets eaten, bro. He's not. Yeah,
Okay.
you're probably gonna eat him before I get over there, so I'm just gonna go back to
Yeah, he's dead.
treasures.
Gone. Sorry.
He's
That's
been
tough.
he's been.
That
up-
is a-
I know, dude. Like some of the flipping TikTok TOS stuff is just like.
Yeah.
Why?
So used to speak. Now, how's it been going with the other wording we had spoken?
It's
on
getting
the whole
better.
Twitter
I'm
combo too?
catching myself, and my wife is helping
It's
me as
getting
well.
easier.
Yeah,
Beth hasn't called me on any of it yet. It honestly hasn't happened as much. I find myself not thinking it as much either in my own head, my inner
Yeah.
monologue. Like
Mhm.
that's.
I don't
defend the
honestly. I
change
don't
for
like
Phobos.
ever.
Never
I
done this on
very
yet.
rarely ever have that kind of language in my inner monologue.
Oh, okay, so that was pretty normal for me.
If or
I'm not
when
gonna say
TikTok,
50% of my
what
language.
platforms? So the platforms we'll focus on will probably be YouTube and Instagram in that case. Is probably what I will do, and maybe Twitch. I got off of Twitch just because I hate the algorithm. I really do. Like, it punishes smaller streamers. Like, I think that's ridiculous. Like, you get the visibility algorithm on that platform is rough unless you get like a shout out from like some larger streamer and get quote unquote
Bigger.
discovered. Like, it's really hard to come up there nowadays. Now there are like in understanding that algorithm, Pirate Software has been really, really helpful. Kind of understanding the Twitch algorithm. There are hours of the day, all right, that are better for smaller streamers. You're more likely, all right, if you're consistent, all right, consistency is key. Engagement is key. All right, making sure that you show up when you say you're going to show up, be on, and if you say you're going to get off at a certain time and you stay longer, that's actually usually a good thing. Like different things like that. Like actually being a decent human being is usually helpful. But I mean, then you guys have hello. Well, I made a friend here. Nope. I think he's run. No, he's a druid. I mean, you can come over here and we can try and punch him in the face if you really want to.
Okay. At that, then I shall go to bed after that. Then
all right,
we're hitting that window.
Oh yeah, dude. It's 11:02. Do you video with your phone and how to screen share your gameplay? Like, with what? What game, dude? Are you talking about right now? I'm not using my phone, dude. I'm using my laptop setup and everything. Like right now, yeah, I'm using a webcam. Logitech Pro is what I'm using. It allows you to stream in full HD 1080p. That's what I'm currently using. I also have another camera that I'm using, which is going through for YouTube. So I've got two video cameras. I don't know why I did that. Two video cameras that I'm using. I have a third, but I don't have a capture card yet for it, so it doesn't work quite as well. Like I do have a professional camera that I'm going to use for. I sometimes use it for reels. No, it's a semi-professional. It's a Nikon D7200. So it's not like top of the line, but it is something that has been a huge blessing that I do use for reels from time to time. So yeah, I'm using a computer setup. Like World of Warcraft is not a mobile game, buddy. It's on PC. It's PC only.
Jesus, could you imagine how hot your phone would be like on fire?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is streaming the future? You mean in what terms? Like in terms of like media entertainment? I would say yeah. I mean, like if you had any idea, like yeah, dude. I mean, the amount of time people spend streaming, like in watching streams and reels and social media, it's way more
Especially
than people.
reels.
Yeah, way more than people actually sit down and watch television nowadays. Now, whether for good or for ill, I mean that's the reality we're living in right now. I think with everything that I've seen, kind of logistically, looking at the statistics, it means that discipline is way more important. Like you need to be disciplined in how much time you're spending on social media, taking the time to make sure that you're taking care of your physical body, what you're actually putting into your thought processes. I think it's really important, man. Understand how these social media platforms work, limiting time for your kids, making sure that what they're watching is actually beneficial. We've seen a lot of crazy things happening in young people in the last 10 years with the advent of social media and reels and shorts and all this other type of stuff. So yeah, it is important, I believe, to better understand like the effects of social media on the human mind, on the attention span. Like one of the big reasons why this works the way it does and the format that we're using as I'm sitting here and I'm playing a video game, just kind of flying around while talking, is because most people have a very short attention span. And if there isn't something going on the screen, they're they're far less likely to actually take time to actually like stick around. Okay. And then that's not me like, yeah, yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm not bashing anybody for that. But like I do believe that we can as a culture become more disciplined if we start applying certain principles that have been around for millennia. I mean, meditation comes in many forms. Prayer is a form of meditation. Just sitting down and choosing not to get up and go do something else and employ self-discipline, that is a form of meditation. Being grateful, like a habit of gratitude, is like very meditative and actually helps overall health. Helps you to better deal with stress and many things. I believe that all of those are very important aspects of what we can be doing and can be seeing on a socio-cultural basis. I do believe that social media is an incredibly useful tool, and I don't think it's going anywhere. So I do believe it's important to kind of understand the effects and how is it actually how is it affecting you? How is it affecting your kids, etc. I think that's important. Does that answer your question? Sure. And thank you guys for answering questions, for sticking around. So our next live stream will be, let me see, tomorrow for me is Wednesday, for you guys is Tuesday. So Tuesday night, we have a men's and women's Bible study that we do. We don't normally live stream it, at least not at this point. So usually that's a kind of a break day in the middle of the week for like live streaming, which I think is important. Again, sitting here talking about balance. Oh, there it is. So no, we will not be on tomorrow, like live streaming. We may be playing the game a little bit. I don't know yet. We'll kind of find out and see, kind of where Jesus leads us with that.
Needed.
Yeah, but mind you too, like I'm talking for like 3 hours straight when we're on live. So having like some break not to talk is I think important for me and my overall health.
I have a tinderbox for you. Then I was going to trade it to you, and I'm going to pop off, bud.
All right, where you at, sir? I see you on the map. I'm just going to land right here on a rock and stay there. For sure. And I'm going to stealth.
I'm going to check out our other laptop and see what it's...
Yeah, see what the specs are, dude.
If it can...
If it can even handle it. I mean, if it can, even at lowest levels, like, why not, man? Give your wife...
No, I'd love for her to be able to play, too.
Exactly.
It's just we need a mouse. Is the only... We just need to get that.
Yeah, it's not hard. And they're not super expensive.
I just need one.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you, sir.
There we go.
I will put that in the auction house.
Also, whenever...
What's up?
Kidino gets a little bit higher level, I've got a level 30 slot bag and a level 34 slot bag. Okay. Actually, do you know about this one? I just found this tonight when we were playing. It's in Hollow Fall.
Yeah, the one up there on the like the cliff.
It's like hanging on an edge.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that was a really good hiding spot.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But no, back to what I was saying about schedule. So we will be back Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be on for usually about 3 hours is usually the time we have set aside for this. And we'll be just doing what we've already been doing. We'll be playing games and talking about like life and whatever that looks like. I mean, we could be talking about Star Wars. We could talk about Star Trek. I'm kind of curious to see if we have any Trekkies that pop in. I mean, I think that's a lot more like the older generation. I think it's more Star Trek. I think Star Wars is what has... Yeah.
Star Trek didn't stick around like Star Wars did.
I mean, well, they did. Star Trek Into Darkness, and like they tried kind of reiterating stuff, and it was good. I really like the new Star Trek stuff. But most people don't know that. Star Wars was way more popularized in pop culture.
Well, and they're still making a lot of content too,
Correct.
for better or worse. But
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, I mean, Star Trek Universe was, I think, the last iteration, but it didn't really do well, and they put it on a platform that you had to pay extra on a streaming
Oh.
platform in order to watch it.
yeah,
Yeah, so in doing
The
that,
last
they
thing
really
people want is
shot
another
themselves. Yeah, they shot
streaming
themselves.
platform.
They shot themselves in the foot. Is what they did.
they unalived their foot.
Yeah. So there's that. Let me see here. Yeah, we're gonna be doing this usually 4 days a week. What we'll be doing, kind of the live streams here, guys. So hey, show up, guys. Man, I'd love to hear from you. Like, even if it's just talk about your day. You know, if you're struggling with something, like, I mean, we can. Yeah, I mean, we can pray for you. I mean, I can share with you my own life experience, and maybe it helps, or we can just listen. Like, yeah. And if you don't want to share, like, you can always DM me or something too, man. I don't have a problem listening to people. It's a big part of what I do for a living. So thanks. I work as a Christian counselor. It's a lot of what I do. A lot of what I do. So I'm pretty used to dealing with stuff. All right, guys. It is 11:11, folks,
Yep,
and I'm
it's
gonna
that
go
time.
ahead and I'm gonna call it a night. Mike, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for getting us over, 10K likes. Like, seriously, that is flipping awesome. Like, we got, yeah, dude, this has been great. Like, thank you, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to getting to know you guys even better. So we're gonna sign off. So peace, and yeah, love you guys.